We apologize again, stream, for dropping like that. Our cameras refused to reacquire to the software without a restart. Let's see, magic. Okay. So one card that Simon mentioned to us before he hit the before he headed out for his first match tonight was this card. I'm gonna put it over here. Crackling Doom.
Yeah.
This is in Simon's deck.
And this was a standard all-star.
This card's very good. This card, you know, this will kill the Death Shadow no matter how big it is.
Correct. It unfortunately is a little bit clunky.
I mean, it is 3 mana.
You're right. 3 mana removal. It does deal a little bit of damage, which is nice. Simon might also have access to the card Deflecting Palm.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that in his board. And woo, Simon on the Soulscar Mage again. I promise you, he only has one of these, but he's led on it both times tonight. Brandon with what looks like multiple lightning bolts in hand, so you'd figure that one of these is probably going to end up cleaning up that mage before too long. Yes. And yes, staff form Monastery Slow Spear is indeed a good name for the card.
Yeah. Another card that did see some hype from this set in the burn was the card where anytime you activate an ability...
Oh, Harsh Mentor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out that card is not as good as we thought it was, I think.
Perhaps just a little bit too slow.
It's a little bit too slow, and like there are some decks where it's just like, oh boy. Like, you know, sure, you shock them off their Mishra's Baubles and their fetch lands, but like, it's not guaranteed. Like, if they just have open mana or like they fetch in response and then they, you know, fatal push it or something, it's like, this did nothing. Like, why is this not Eidolon?
Fair enough. And yeah, it looks like Brian's going to fire off the bolt. Gonna take 3 from his fetch shock, though.
Ah, the classic, I'm about to take 1, so I'll take 3 instead. Simon down to 17 here. One thing about the Mardu burn deck as a mana base is more painful because you have to support the 3 colors. You know, so you have shocks and, like, I don't actually know if you have any of, like, the 3rd shock, but, like, it is more painful if you're not just trying to get to red-white, for instance. And that can matter against Death Shadow because once they play the shadows and just start like going ham on your face.
Yeah, one interesting thing here, Simon chose not to cast the lava spike before combat.
Yeah.
So if the creature had connected, it wouldn't have gotten the prowess trigger.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting, and I'm curious as to why. Brandon will Thought Scour himself, flipping a Serum Vision's a Collective Brutality, which he honestly probably would have liked to have drawn, and then drawing a card. We'll see a shock here off a Blood Crypt, putting himself to 12. He's effectively at 9, though, for when this Rift Bolt comes off. But it looks like this is another way that in which you beat Burn, is you play a Delve Threat.
Yep, and it looks like he's delving 1, 3, 4, 5, so this is going to be a Tassiger.
Yeah, unless he has he might have an Angler though, which he cannot cast at this moment. So put Brandon down to 9. Draw step for Simon. Simon's got at least a bolt and 1 land in hand, and I didn't see the rest. 2 lands in hand and a bolt. And is this business? This is a bump in the night. Okay, so that is business.
All right, Brandon's gonna go to 6, and Simon casting this to get under any, you know, weird Stubborn Nile nonsense.
Oh, Stubborn Nile's so good against this deck. It's like, honestly, like, Stubborn Nile is just like sometimes like the one card you need to just trade with one of your opponent's burn spells, and then you're fine. But now Brandon under a lot of pressure. Simon with enough mana to just double spell when he untaps. We'll see what Brandon can do. He might... Brandon definitely can't shock himself here. If he goes to 3, he is just dead, so...
Yeah, I think Brandon realized there's too many cards in it.
In Simon's
deck to do 3.
Yeah, and yeah, so it looks like we're just going to go down to 5. Notably, this does put you, like, in range of, like, Goblin Guidepost burn spell, where normally it wouldn't, but unavoidable if you want the mana.
Yeah, and, like, this is sometimes the problem that you can run into, right? You don't draw Death Shadow, and all of a sudden your clock is not broken.
Without the Death Shadow, this is not... Yeah, it's not ideal. 2 mana, Delving, 1, 2, 3... 4, 5. Okay, yeah, so he's leaving the Brutality because he has a Snapcaster in hand, but this will be a fish. Simon will bolt in response to the fish.
Yeah, this is going to get under Stubborn Nile.
Right. And we'll put Brandon down to 2. Simon will fetch.
So one thing with
16.
If Simon doesn't have another land in hand,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to mean Searing Blaze is not an out anymore. If he has Searing Blaze still left in his
I
deck.
believe he has basic mountain in hand.
Okay.
And also, yeah, Searing Blaze seems like one of the first cards I would cut against this.
Right, it just not really any exciting targets.
Yeah, like
And 2 mana deal 3, not.
it's not like there are better 2-mana deal 3s if you're not killing a creature with Searing Blaze. Draw step. I think you drew a Swift Spear.
All right, not thrilling.
Yeah, we'll run it out. It does make it harder for Brandon to attack, assuming he doesn't have another blocker. But if Brandon draws his 4th land and goes Brutality off a Snapcaster, do some stuff, he's in a very good spot because he'll go up to 4. So if he draws a land here, this is very... Oh, we drew the land here. So
I'm not sure if I even like Simon playing the Swift Spear.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Because, yeah, Brandon clearly has Snapcaster or is, like, drawing to it.
Right.
And right now, he's not going to choose a duress mode because you very clearly don't have anything in hand. If you did, you would,
Right, if you make him Snapcaster for just the drain gain. But this is going to be a Bolt instead. This will get this Swift Spear out of the way. Fish will crunch.
Ooh, and this also is a very scary line because this means that you're now dead to...
Oh, this is pretty good, though. This is just lethal on board. Simon checks the top card. I don't know if that's what he wanted. He'll play a Nile Spellbomb.
Alright, this is going to be a 2-mana cycle.
Yeah,
Looking
but,
for a
like,
bolt.
Draw a card. I think he found a Rift Bolt.
But that might be a Goblin Guide.
Oh, it is a Goblin Guide. So he's not... so no, Brandon does have this game. Brandon will fetch down to 1. He'll just snap back either the Bolt or the Brutality to kill the Goblin Guide, and Simon will be defeated.
And so long as Brendan has a land that he can get, this should be
He should have Basic Swamp or whatever. Yeah, so Dan will hop out of the booth, see if we can get another match. Can you check the round timer as well? I'm just going to guess. Say it's at 35, but... Yeah, so Brandon untaps, draw step here. Death Shadow's a 12-12. Just need to clear that Goblin Guide out of the way. So, wait, does he not have the Snapcaster? Oh, so this game's exciting again. Okay. See, I thought Brandon had a Snapcaster in his opener. That appears to have been wrong. And now Simon has outs, notably the top of the deck. The attack with the Death Shadow will get blocked. Simon stays at 11, and Brandon passes it back. Simon's draw step. Show us. Swift Spear. Again, you just want to draw a burn spell here. And no, if it's a Brutality, though, Simon is dead, right? Like, Brutality has Drain Gain? Yeah, Brutality is... A Brutality reads kill your dude. Oh, it's a Kozilek's return. Okay, that's going to do it. Simon Camerau extends the hand as Grixis Death Shadow gets it 2-0 over Mardu Burn. Simon flipping 2 lands off the top. Not looking so hot there either. So, yeah, Dan, so Brandon had Kozilek's return in hand. So it wasn't a Brutality or a Snapcaster. He just, like, Kozilek's returned a Swift Spear.
Okay,
And,
but he didn't have the mana to cast the Angler one turn earlier anyways.
Right. Yeah, okay. So, who are we watching here?
We're watching the game 3 of where are we here? Give us 1 second to find the match.
Just go ask them. Oh, it's
right
Zhao.
here. Yeah, Xiao.
Okay, so on the right, we're going to have Zhao Tan. On the left, we're going to have Vince Hanshin, adding a third Vince to the shop. Vincent Adinolfi and Vincent Giacalone are in attendance tonight. I imagine we'll be seeing them at some point.
Right, I was looking this by last name and
yeah.
had a little bit swapped. Yeah, so this is going to be game 3. We've got about 30-odd minutes left in the round. So plenty of time for this.
And what are these guys playing?
I'm not exactly sure. Presumably something somewhat aggressive if we're in, they're doing 10-minute games.
Fair enough. Zhao normally in Eldrazi or played Scapeshift a bit, but normally on Eldrazi, right?
I've also seen him on Death Shadow before.
Oh yeah, no, he's also played a lot of Death Shadow, John. He played that at San Antonio, I believe. Or maybe he did. No, he played Eldrazi at San Antonio. What am I saying? They did have Shadow on their team, I guess. So this is the third game. Do we know who's on the... I guess we'll figure out who won the most recent one. But we don't know the decks, so... Put in some placeholders here.
Yeah, I'm seeing some red cards, though.
All right, gonna... so
that is an Eldrazi Temple, though.
That looks like Bant Eldrazi to me. Yeah, and you've got a... You said you saw red cards in Vince's hand?
Well, yeah, I think there was enough cards that makes me think that it's burn.
Also burn? I'm trying to remember, not from Vince's face, but from what he's wearing, whether or not I saw this person goldfishing burn. Eldrazi versus burn, honestly, like, sort of similar to Shadow, except Eldrazi doesn't do nearly as much work on their own life total, in that Eldrazi can, you know, get some big creatures down and really pressure burn out of the game quite quickly.
Right. Now, the difference here is you don't have enormous 1-mana threats, right?
Sure, I mean, yeah, that's a trade-off.
Angler, 5/5 for 1 mana.
Yeah, it's burn. Okay. This looks like more conventional, though. So this appears to be red-white burn.
There have been various builds of this cropping up. Some versions are more creature heavy, and you're playing, you know, the cattles. Some even go up to, you know, a full zoo package where you're playing Curd Apes and whatnot. But Vince is going to lead off on a Monastery Switch.
If this is just the normal Boros burn, though, he's got the standard burn creature package. The only thing that he should have green in there for would be Destructive Revelry out of the board. Sort of a burn all-star.
Well, Shadow's going to take 1 here to cast Nova Heart.
Alright. So you get hard punished here if we have Searing Blaze.
Searing Blaze is the nightmare.
Searing Blaze is just like... It's so good, because otherwise this is a turn 2 Thought Knot. I think I might see the Searing Blaze, actually. This certainly looks like he's fetching for something... that Vince is fetching for something that's 2 mana. So, let's see what he gets here. Yeah, this will be basic mountain. We'll put him to 17. Yeah, this is one of the things with the red-white burn deck, is that you really... You get your 1 white source, and, like, maybe you get a second one, but it's really... After the first one, you're pretty okay with getting mountains until you run out of those. I think there is a Searing Blaze there, actually.
And this is the nightmare. This is lose a creature, take 5 extra.
Yeah, 15, then 13 for Zhao. And also, notably, Zhao did have a potential 4 mana turn 2 coming, and now he doesn't.
Right. Well, this also crimps turn 2, right?
Yeah.
Because if he didn't have the temple in hand, he could have played Displacer, which is, you know, a fine blocker.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty rough a pretty rough start for Zhao. Fortunately, Vince did mulligan, so Zhao's like, you know, it's not. He's maybe a card short of what he really wants, but like right now, Zhao is choosing, do I have to path the Swift Spear? How do I deploy my threats most efficiently now that I can't, you know, play a turn 2?
Yeah, with a path in hand, I think I like basic planes. Path this turn and next turn Thought Knot.
Yeah, I like that too. But yeah, he'll think about it for a second.
I don't know what his options exactly are this turn.
I mean, I think
with the temple. I mean,
I think I see an Ancient Stirrings. Might be worth firing that off, and it looks like we'll get that here. Problem is, Yavimaya does pain you, and that is, you know, we're up to 2 on the Painland count, so it's not irrelevant.
Does find another Thought Knot.
Yeah, back-to-back Thought Knot can be quite good, but if Vince manages to empty his hand, then it's like you're casting Thought Knot. It's a good blocker, it's a good threat, but you're not really getting the real, like, if you play a turn 2 Thought Knot against Burn, you're exiling a card that they're never going to get back.
Right, you're not giving them the full punish.
And Zhao's just going to path now. I guess this might have been on upkeep, since it looks like Vince has since untapped, but yeah, so this is fine.
He'll get the landfall trigger, but, you know, who cares?
Right, Zhao doesn't have any creatures in play. This is looking like it's going to be a question of, can Vince top deck enough burn before Zhao just, like, kills him with big 4/4?
Yeah, because Zhao's about to go runner, Thought Knot.
Right. So here's a draw step. We find Deflecting Palm, and let's see what else we got.
Deflecting Palm, one of those cards that's ludicrously bad if your opponent knows about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Zhao might be... Oh, wait a minute, we lied. This is not just red-white burn. We're also on Mardu burn. Dan, how did you pick How did we pick the only 2 Mardu burn players I think I've ever seen in the shop for this one round?
Perhaps it is magic.
Yeah, apparently.
A gathering of sorts.
Oh, stop. Okay. It's a Harsh Mentor. The very card that we naysayed. Whatever, dude. That's actually kind of funny. To be fair, though, I don't actually know if it's good.
I mean, a Harsh Mentor is going to make the Displacer not busted.
Sure. But the problem with the Harsh Mentor is, like...
Shell's
what
not
else?
doing
What
a
other activated abilities does he have? He has Displacer, Scion sacking for mana, also seems unlikely.
Tapping creatures out with the Drowner seems unlikely.
Right, you know, Zhao's deck seems like one of the least susceptible to getting punished by Mentor. Currently, damage count for Harsh Mentor is 0. Mm-hmm. We'll see an untap here, Rift Bolt to the face. So now Zhao to 9. We'll see what we've got off the top.
And the thing is, Vince has so much land that whatever he draws, he can play. The second Harsh Mentor.
See, this is the problem, is right. Like, what if these were Eidolons or something, or what if they were Skullcrack?
Right.
Like, what if Skullcrack? Like, Zhao doesn't even have fetch lands in hand.
No, I mean he just drew Pineapple as well, so we're gonna have Pingless land coming up pretty soon.
Dan is, of course, referring to the Expedition Hallowed Fountain, which looks like a pineapple.
It doesn't just look like a pineapple. It is a pineapple.
Dan, there is not a pineapple that big in the multiverse. I consulted with Wizard story editors on this. Don't worry. We'll see what's next here.
Well, if I'm Shao, I kind of like an attack here with Thought Knot.
Especially given that you get to play another one. Yeah, it seems fine.
If Vince draws anything too cheeky, he's going to trade away his board if he wants to do that. Also, it's a very risky block, double block.
Because you have Path and they just lose the game.
Right, if Shao plays anything.
Personally, I'm a fan. Like, if I'm Vince, though, like, the Harsh Mentors, I feel like you might just be trying to double chump, right? Like...
I guess you eventually have to start turning things sideways, right? Because 9 is, I mean, if you, at the moment, you're giving him a lot of draw. And eventually you're going to have to attack into these Harsh Mentors, right? You're not going to kill him with just a Sky Spawner.
Oh, yeah. No, the Sky Spawner will take way too long. Yeah, we'll see the jam. We'll see if Vincent wants to... Nah, he's not about to block that. All right, we'll go to 12 here. Put another Thought Knot on board. Get the Boogie... oh, okay. Looks like we're going to take another Point of Pain. This might be a Sky Spawner.
Okay.
Sky Spawner, just more blockers.
Well, with this sequencing, Shao can play another Temple and play Displacer as well. So we just develop the board a little more.
Yeah, good point. So we'll go back over to Vince. Looking like he's in a rough spot, though. Does draw a card.
Yeah, and Shao can even protect himself by playing another
Thought Knot. Yeah, I agree. Draw step here for Zhao.
And the problem is, like, just 8 is so much, right? 8.
It's got to be Boros. It's got to be Runner Boros Charms. Like, there's no other sequence. You can chump like this turn. Yeah, I don't even know, man.
You just have to remember not to activate, Displacer.
Or sack the Scion or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is Zhao can just cast a Drowner right now.
Mm-hmm. Which is just going to add 7 power to the board, which is fine.
Yeah. I don't know if he has a Drowner. I'm just saying, like, he's got enough mana that he, like, doesn't have to sack the Scion or anything.
Right. And what Shao needs to do is just start turning things sideways and apply enough pressure where Vince is going to have to start chump blocking.
Yeah, that's just not a good way to get out of this. And the thing is that as soon as he does start chump blocking and the Harsh Mentors go away, you can start, like, displace their Thought Knot on draw step.
I don't know if I like that.
Oh, you're right. Sacrificing the Scion is a mana ability.
Yes, that is.
Oh. Alright, this is an attack for 6. You don't like Displacer the Thought Knot on draw step?
No, because that gives an opportunity to draw double instant.
Oh. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Looks like we're just going to take 6 here, go to 6.
It also, like, such a large percentage of the deck is instant.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speed that, like, you're potentially risking just dying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Vince under quite a lot of pressure here. I'm not sure what he drew last turn, but he really needs to.
I mean, if it's not a spell, I don't know if he can win.
Right.
And honestly, like, it probably needs to be Runner Boros Charms.
Yeah, we're running out of things to squeak in with.
Just 8 is... If it were 7, it'd be way more doable.
Syrian Blaze doesn't actually seem terrible if we can trigger landfall.
Sure. Yeah, I can't see what Vince drew. He's good at... Okay, so he has 1 Boros Charm.
Presumably he must have drawn it this turn.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he only has 1 white source, and that's.
Is that a wear tear? It looks like a wear tear. What if not wear tear? I don't know what that comes in for against Eldrazi. Like, maybe worship?
He might be concerned about worship.
Okay, I can actually... It's a reasonable worship concern, but, like...
Or, maybe a naked, like, engineered explosives.
The naked engineered is way more questionable than the worship. Maybe, it's possible that game 2, Vince saw the worship and was like, oh, send help.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Vince tanking here a little bit. Trying to see if he can force through damage. Next turn, we are priced into blocking.
He just says go.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Killa Twerk for the... Killa at work for the follow.
Yeah, speaking of the devil, Shao just drew a Drowner.
Yeah. Pretty good.
It is, in fact, pretty good.
Okay, so here's how Zhao loses. Is he plays Drowner, and he's like, fine, tap your guys, and then dies.
Correct. That would not be a great play.
But Vince does have to draw specifically Boros Charm to win.
Yeah, depending on what his draw was this turn,
mm-hmm.
He might have some options. Now, Shao with the...
No, he's got Boros Charm Wear Tear. We saw that.
Oh, right.
Okay. Here's the block. Okay.
Vince might be playing this for indestructibility.
I don't like that.
I don't think I like this either because Shao very clearly is representing something, right?
Wait.
And that something almost certainly is a Drowner.
Or just, like, other Thought-Knot, or, like, yeah, see, now, if you don't Boros Charm and just, like, pray that you're good enough to draw Boros Charm, I think you lose.
I think Vince made this, gave his team indestructibility with the hope that he might be able to squeeze in 4 points on the attack.
That's definitely not enough. Vince is at 3, by the way. I mean, I understand the desire to, like, keep your team alive, but, like, you can't win the game.
Yeah, I think your outs were higher if you fire off the Boros Charm and then try to draw. I mean, you're looking at a 3-outer, but...
But this is a 0-outer.
Yeah, now we're just super dead to the board.
Yeah.
I mean, short of Shao forgetting what Harsh Mentor does.
Yeah, dude, he's just gonna... The thing is, Zhao would have to activate 3 abilities, right? He only needs to activate 2 to tap these mentors. Mm-hmm. He could end the game on 1 life. He could just totally BM.
Yeah, and he does have a Thought-Knot as well, so he can see if there are any shenanigans.
He's just like, nope, we're doing it.
So this is a little bit risky, because if Vince had a deflecting palm, Shao potentially could have, Vince could have potentially drawn the game.
Sure, yeah, if he had bolted and then named Drowner.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, so maybe just you have super lethal without the Drowner attack, so maybe hold it back to play around the palm.
Sure, although, that might be a little narrow. But, yeah, at 3,
I mean,
at least 3 sirens are getting through. Yeah.
The thing is like, yeah, you have, they can't block the Sky Spawner. He only has 2 blockers. He has to block the next 2 biggest, and then he still has 3 on the ground. So you get 5 through guaranteed, and that way deflecting palm doesn't just utterly wreck you.
Right, and even if, Vince has double removal,
yeah,
it's still not good enough.
I'm not afraid.
All right. Well, we're gonna step outside real quick, see if there's another match.
Yeah, maybe someone went long. Jeez, 3 very, very fast, matchups. 2 very, very fast matchups. Burn and Death Shadow, and then Burn and Eldrazi. But here, in both games, the bigger The bigger creatures are going to get the better of it. Vince looking like he boarded in the Harsh Mentors, and I just like don't know if it matters against these guys. I don't 100% hate the Harsh Mentor against like Coco, because then they just, you know, can't make infinite life right away. But against Eldrazi, you can just not activate Displacer, and Harsh Mentor is just like a bear that doesn't do as much. So yeah, Dan's gonna hop out, see if we can get another match. If we can't though, we have like literally infinite things to talk about. Thanks to Nova MTG for the follow. But yeah, we had so much Modern play this weekend that I can't imagine we will run out of, you know, wacky deck lists and things to go find. These two players will wrap it up, but the length of time that Dan's been gone suggests to me that we might be getting another match, which is kind of exciting. Okay, so I guessed incorrectly. Dan was unable to get his match, but that just means it's time to talk about the literally infinite amounts of Modern that were played this weekend. So we'll kick it back up to the booth, and there we go. So, first off, we had a GP in Kobe. I will put the link to the top 8 in the chat. So we've got, in this top 8, we had Ad Nauseam, Affinity, a wacky and wild Esper control list that we're definitely going to talk about, Grixis Shadow, a wacky and wild Jeskai control list that we're definitely going to talk about, Dredge, Eldrazi Tron, and Black-White Eldrazi. And I believe Black-White Eldrazi won the whole thing, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, you know, Ad Nauseam, is a good deck, you know, just with Infect literally falling off the planet. Like, this deck lost one of its worst matchups. It's extremely powerful, and it plays enough Lotus Petals that sometimes you just get them.
Right. Ad Nauseam does interact hilariously against Black-White Eldrazi in that they can, you know, Wasteland Strangler your
Lotus Blooms
out of existence.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great. That feels real bad. Like, how about I have a Black Lotus? They're like, Wasteland Strangler. I mean, to be fair, though, if they do that, they probably have to kill.
They do have to target one of their own things, yes.
But that's fine.
Which is not the worst thing.
You took their Lotus Bloom and you have a 3/2.
Right. But yeah, Ad Nauseam.
Pretty standard list. This one is the Spoils of the Vault version and not the Peer Through Depths version.
Right. It crops up every once in a while for people who have played the deck before. When you draw well, it seems unbeatable. When you don't, it's just absurd nonsense.
It's really like, you're just like, oh, I will be dead soon, and you draw like Simeon's Spirit Guide,
or you spoils for your missing piece, and you know you hit your Lightning Storm and your Live Maniac, and I was like, oh well.
Yeah. One cool card from the sideboard is this card, Godhead of Awe. Just makes other dudes into 1/1s, makes it hard for other creatures to do things. It's a 4/4. So, and the thing is with Ad Nauseam is because sometimes you just like have a Lotus Bloom and you can get to this mana very quick, like relatively quickly.
Sure.
So that's like, you know, there's like Krovax Ascendant Hero, which is another one that we used to see in the boards, which is, I think we looked it up here before, but yeah. So this guy, he's also a 4/4. This card was very, very good versus Infect. Like,
this is the Knight of Souls Betrayal effect.
Yeah.
On a creature.
Yeah, and that means
and then some.
It means that they can't Nature's Claim it, basically.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, moving down, Affinity. All right, so let me give you a hypothetical. Your Affinity opponent has, 4 lands in play. One of them's a Glimmer Void. They're not doing they're not doing great this game. And then they say, I have like actions in your end step, and you're like, sure. And you don't you don't have any counter magic up because like their Affinity. What are they doing in your end? They're just gonna Gallop Blast you. It's fine. And this dude, Takashi Kagawa? I don't know how to pronounce. I really don't know how to pronounce his name.
I do appreciate the attempt.
Look, I tried, but he goes and casts this card in your end step. There was a Collected Company in an Affinity deck in a GP top 8, folks.
Yeah,
dude, if you hit Master of Ethereums, you're fine. If you hit Edge Champions, you're fine. It's a little bit less impressive when you Coco into double Ornithopter, though.
Yeah, and I mean, because he top 8'd, presumably he wasn't punished with this card too much.
Seems great.
Your upside's kind of absurd, right? You hit like double Edge Champion, or even just like Steel Overseer at instant speed, untap with Steel Overseer.
Yeah, untap with Overseer, immediately tap it. Like they actually can't do anything to stop the counters from going on. No, you're still in the end step. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If we have Master of Ethereum, if you hit double Master of Ethereum, you added like
an absurd
amount of power to the board.
You sort of win.
Yeah.
It's a little bit goofy, but like, dude, this dude like qualied for a Pro Tour in the GP top 8 with Collected Company and Affinity. So like, maybe we just haven't caught up to the meta yet. Up next, another really sort of off the wall deck, Esper Control, featuring not one, not two, but the entire play set of this card, Glory Bound Initiate. It's a 2-mana 3/1, and it attacks as a 4/4 lifelinker, or just as a 3/1.
Right, and I mean, this makes boarding against this deck very awkward, because normally you don't want this much removal, but this requires you to keep in some number of it. A 4/4 for 2 is obviously quite good. A 4/4 lifelink will keep you alive long enough to cast, your 4 Painful Truths. 4
Painful Truths is, I think, one of the reasons this card is really, sometimes the deck, you're a slower control deck, you can't really afford to take the loss of life from like multiple Painful Truths, but with this, you could very easily gain, as soon as you gain 4 life, the first one is free.
Yeah,
you can curve this out too, just like attack, Painful Truths.
I imagine that he had quite a lot of Painful Truth and Snapcaster Painful Truths over the course of the weekend. With the combination of that and Collective Brutality, now you also have junk cards to discard for additional modes.
Right.
It's a very, very interesting build of this deck, and certainly something that we haven't seen in a while.
I definitely didn't peg Glory Bound Initiate as one of the Mtgcard cards to show up as a 4 of in a GP top 8 from Modern.
Right. It almost feels like it fills the slot that like some people might run Geist in that slot. But this synergizes a lot better with what you're trying to do.
The other thing with Geist is that because this is 2 mana, you can like throw this away, and even if if they remove it, like whatever, they've removed it, they can't Fatal Push something else that you have. But also, it's just it 2 versus 3, and like Geist is like you play it and you're like, oh, I hope my Geist gets there and gets through these creatures. No, you don't care. You're like okay with just like running this into something, gaining 4 life, and then using that life to buy yourself time.
It is worth noting that this was a very conscious decision, because there's also a main deck Battle Skull, so
and 3 Shambling Vents.
Right, so like the ability to gain life, this deck utilizes that very well.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. So up next we have like a sort of pretty stock Grixis Shadow list.
Just a fine deck in general.
Yeah, seems okay. Then we get to Ryoichi Tamada's Jeskai Control. And the one thing that is great about this deck is it has 24 lands and 36 non-lands, and there are only 9 unique non-lands in the main. 4 Snapcaster, 4 Spell Queller, 4 Serum Visions, 4 Bolt, 4 Path, 4 Logic Knot, 4 Cryptic Command, 4 Electrolyze, 4 Lightning Helix. It is like the most just like, you just have the redundancy. You're just like, cool, like I have, you have the whole 12 burn suite that Jeskai can play. You have all 4 Cryptic Commands. Spellcaller is an interesting inclusion, and I've been thinking about this a lot. I think that it's, again, Spellcaller, similar to Glorybound Initiate, forces your opponents to leave in some amount of removal, and it's honestly probably more important to kill Spellquellers than the Initiates, frankly, because, like, you can beat an Initiate in, like, creature combat, but with Spellqueller, like...
The tempo swing's quite large.
The tempo swing's large, and also it's just, like, if you don't have removal for it, it is just, like, an amazing counterspell.
Right,
right. It gets around Cavern of Souls from Eldrazi, so, you could potentially Spellcaller a Thought-Knot Seer.
Being able to Spellcaller... Yeah, being able to Spellcaller up to CMC 4 is absurd.
Right.
Right, like, this is truly the catch-all for everything you want. This is also a fairly greedy list. You are playing 4 Electrolyzes and 4 Cryptic Commands. And notably, no main deck or sideboard verdicts.
This is something that I talked about too with some people, was the fact that there are no sweepers in this list, and so it makes me wonder, but the thing is that you're playing so much, like, spot removal that, like, you can almost kill, against small creature decks where you really do want the sweepers, you can kill everything.
Right,
the problem is like sometimes the problem is when you don't and then you lose. But
right. You're playing much more to the board than normally because your counter magic suite. It's 4 logic knots and 4 cryptics. You're not playing mana leaks either.
I don't know how you get away with playing 4 logic knot. Like I would actually be interested in asking Ryuichi Tamano what the decision behind that is because 4 logic knot is so much.
Yeah, well, see, the logic knots are also a little bit tricky to play because you're not playing a super heavy fetch mana base.
Right.
And the only
he just has 8. He has 8 fetches. You know that's standard.
Right. The only cantrip you're playing is Serum Visions. Right.
Yeah.
You're not going overboard and trying to field the logic.
And
knot.
also logic knot can have negative interactions with Snapcaster if you want to snap stuff back.
Right.
That sort of thing. Also in the sideboard, continuing on that graveyard line. 3 Grim Lavamancer. And while I don't disagree that Grim Lavamancer seems like a fantastic choice against decks like Counters Company, against Affinity, against Elves. I mean, I guess you cut some number of knots in those matchups, but like you're still competing for the graveyard, and Lavamancer taxes it pretty heavily.
Right. Your graveyard really in this deck is incredibly taxed.
Where's the Thought Scour, right?
Yeah.
Like
also, it is worth pointing out that this deck has to be like 0% against Dredge.
Oh, there's no graveyard hate either.
There's not a single piece of graveyard hate in this entire 75.
I mean, yes.
Short of 4 Path to Exile, which
it's not enough. Having talked to just some Jeskai people about the Dredge matchup, it's like basically what they've said is like, you know what? Not sure it's worth even boarding for because it's so hard to win without like 8 pieces of hate.
Right, and that's a fair assessment. That if you can't bring in enough hate, you just don't. Just hope you don't run into it.
I mean, that's the thing sometimes. You just have to do that. And I honestly, it feels a little bit like, oh, like I'm giving up or whatever, but like,
there's so many decks in the meta, you can't prepare for all of it. Yeah. You might as well shore up the matchups where, you're naturally bad against Dredge to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
This is, having some sideboard cards for it doesn't, make it even good.
Yeah, I think to beat, if you really want to have a good sideboard against Dredge, you'd have to play 4 Rest in Peace and,
some number of angers.
4 Rest in Peace, some number of angers, and maybe 1 or 2 cages, and you just you value the flexible sideboard slots way more than that.
Right.
Although granted, there are 4 Spreading Seas in the board here. So
which Tron does show up quite a bit.
Yeah, look. Spreading Seas I think is a generally much better card, especially in a meta of Grixis and Jund Death Shadow.
It's a meta of fairly greedy mana bases, and Spreading Seas can do quite a bit of work.
Yeah.
But continuing on with the top 8 here.
Yeah, Dredge. Pretty standard Dredge list. I'll be playing something like this in
Oh, look at you giving away information.
In Vegas, whatever, dude. It's fine. I'm looking forward to being just flipping Narcomoeba triple amalgam off that neonate on their second main turn 1. Pretty standard list here. Nothing too crazy. Some flex spots like Scourge, Haunted Dead, Dark Blast, Scourge Devil, sort of in the flex spots. Seems fine.
Yeah, nothing too exciting.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Eldrazi Tron up next.
Again, a fairly stock list.
Does feature 1 Emrakul the Promised End.
Right, which realistically you're not cheating out too much. You do have the ability to put artifacts and a sorcery in your graveyard quite easily, but past that, you're going to have a bit of trouble. So realistically, we're casting this for 10.
Yeah, I mean...
Which, again, is not...
It's pretty game-ending when you cast it. It seems, fine in a flex spot. And then the eventual GP winner, Black-White Eldrazi. So, this deck not playing... so sometimes you see, the Eldrazi Taxes builds with... You see Eldrazi Taxes builds with Aether Vial, for example. No Aether Vial here. Does have 4 main deck Relic of Progenitus, making it, this is probably just this is good against Snapcasters, this is good against Death Shadow.
This also allows you to give 1 way of just having a free enabler for wasting.
Oh, that's the other thing is you just do that. Sure.
And at worst, this is just 2 mana cycle, so it's not that big of a concession.
Yeah, I mean it does sometimes hit your own Lingering Souls. Notably, there aren't Flicker Wisps in this deck where you can when you Flicker Wisp, you blink something and then you play Strangler before the.
Well, and that's in part due to the fact that there's also no Aether Vials.
Right.
So this is just a much more streamlined list of here. It plays similar to the Hate Bears. decks of old, but just with a couple more powerful threats and better synergy.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's and then there's not a whole lot. Again, pretty standard package. Lingering Souls, gives you great game against decks that try to 1-for-1 you. You also have Tide Hollow Sculler, which is incredibly annoying.
Yeah. And because of the exile ability of this deck, also has a sideboard cast out, which is actually quite interesting because it is a nice catch-all answer to everything. And you want an effect like this. I mean, you can't support Detention Sphere, so cast out is
Right, I mean, so
a pretty neat way of doing that.
I mean, so I don't think Oblivion Ring would be playable in this deck.
No, the ability to flash.
The flash is very good, but also
good.
I think the cycling is like very, very good. And,
yeah,
but it does. You cast something out, and then you play a Wasteland Strangler, and then your opponent is like, oh, well, great.
Yes, that
sounds good.
About right. But yeah, that's the GP Kobe review. I mean, nothing too groundbreaking. There's no, what is this? Amulet Bloom. Showing up randomly on the Lantern.
Crazy.
But one thing that is kind of reassuring is just like how diverse the format is. It's pretty much there's no like this deck is the best. Death Shadow, while represented, wasn't like overly represented.
Right. There was a little while there when Death Shadow first sort of hit the scene when it was like, oh my god, Death Shadow Winter or Death Shadow Spring or whatever. But it seems people seem to have figured out ways to fight it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, even just scrolling down through like the top 32 list, it's just a lot of everything. Yeah,
lists as you expect to see. We've got a fair amount. One deck that really is on the upswing though is the Vizier combo deck. Mm-hmm. So you have Vizier of Remedies, Devoted Druid, and you make infinite mana.
And there's no, it's not immediately clear that this is necessarily just better than the old Coco list. One thing that might have happened is just like the Coco list just kind of fell out of favor.
Yeah.
And now they're back. I mean, they never were bad.
Right. They're just this new combo has given you much more like.
No, you have another combo in your deck of like 3 or 4 combos already.
Yeah, and the other thing is that one of your combo pieces is also like a pretty decent mana dork. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't hurt. Right. Because some of these decks aren't even playing like Anafenza and stuff. They're just playing I guess those are Bant decks. But there are multiple ways to use this Vizier combo to make infinite mana, get Walking Ballistic, kill them. There's not like a let's see. Let's go to Copenhagen.
Mm-hmm. So the second GP that happened this weekend was GP Copenhagen, also modern. This is the one that had US coverage.
Yeah. I tried to find a stream for Kobe. It wasn't happening. Yeah. So looking down the top 8, we have a Grixis Shadow deck, just pretty standard Grixis Shadow things. Numbers are pretty normal. Lantern Control making a reappearance, notably for main deck Leyline of Sanctity. Mm-hmm. Sort of a change from the sideboard. Like normally that would be in the board, but now bringing it to the main, gives you like Leyline of Sanctity against Death Shadow is, if you play it turn 0, like
it's quite good.
It's not bad.
This certainly a meta call, right?
100%. You can't play 4 of these in any meta. Or like in the dark, I feel like it'd be hard to do that.
Yeah. Also, another deck that seems fairly well positioned right now, Living End.
Yeah, Living End in the top 8 with the new so funnily enough, this one in the top 8 is not playing any of the monstrous Caradon, which is the 6/4 from
for 1.
Yeah. How is that spelled? Carodon. Okay. How is there more than one of these?
There are many of these.
Really?
The Caradons? Oh yeah, Caradons is a frequently featured beast type.
Okay, fair enough.
So one problem with this card is Yes, is another cheap
Oh,
cycling.
hang on. Let me get this. Let me give them the link for Copenhagen.
Yeah. So one problem with this card is that yes, it's an enormous body for cycling 1.
Yeah.
But costing specifically red
Can be a problem.
can be a problem when you're playing a deck with like 4 Bloomy Marshes, Stomping Grounds, and Overgrown Tombs. Also, there's a lot of utility that you can get with the other lands. They don't come up very often, but sometimes, you will shoot a flyer with Deadshot. The archetypes of Will, that trigger is always quite nice as well. So just having like a naked dude that doesn't necessarily, get any value, perhaps not exactly where you want to be.
Right. One of the cards that did make the ooh, and we're gonna stop for a moment for pairings. Oh man, I feel like he's like 90-10. Let's do it. All right, Dan's gonna hop out of the booth. We're gonna get ourselves a match. Second round on the way here at MTGCardMarket, Wednesday Night Modern. So yeah, this should be an interesting match. I'm gonna throw it down to the play overlay though. Definitely want to do some resetting. All right, so I think I see who that is. Martin Sheeler is going to be on the left here, and on the right, Stream Regular, hero of the control player across hero of Jeskai control players far and wide. Should be getting Martin Sheeler versus Vincent Adinolfi in a matchup where I don't actually know if Vince can win any single game. Jeskai control. So assuming Martin's on what he's been on, he's on blue, black, Tezzerator. And Vincent... Oh, wait, they left. Why did they leave? No, come back. Oh, that's... Are they, yeah? All right. Oh, I think I guessed correctly, though, yeah. So, we're going to see Vincent sitting down here on the right. He's on Jeskai Control. Both these players did win their first round, so congratulations to them. Do you know if Martin is on Tezzerator again?
I saw him with 2 ensnaring bridges in play.
All right, he's on Tezzerator again. Yeah. This is not a matchup that Vincent ever wins, is it?
I mean, Thopter Sword is really hard to deal with.
I don't think you beat Thopter Sword. That's just like the problem.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the thing is you don't beat the recursion of the deck either. Martin is also playing Whir of Invention, so like he can do things at instant speed, so you can't, you're not really safe.
Yeah, if there's a deck that's playing main deck Chalice, Martin very well could be playing main deck
Martin's
Chalice.
not playing main deck Chalice.
Oh, excuse me, not Chalice. Main deck Crucible.
He could be playing main deck Crucible.
And Crucible Ghost Quarter is very real.
Sure. Whir of Invention though. Yeah, this matchup, I don't know if, I think Martin is just super heavily favored, barring Vincent, really having an excellent and interactive start with a lot of counter magic.
Yeah, Vincent's looking for a lot of counter magic, and to be able to stick a threat, which I think the only, real threat in this deck is a Johnny Vengeant, but really needs to stick something like that and just ride it to victory.
I mean, the thing is that Johnny doesn't even win you the game on the spot.
No, because there's a ton of mana rocks and nonsense in this deck.
There's mana rocks and nonsense. There could be Crucible. You never know. Vincent's gonna look at a hand that looks like 7 lands. Martin's gonna look at a hand that looks like almost 7 lands.
No, this is... Oh wow, it actually is pretty close. But he's got a Tezzerator in it.
Oh, Vincent's gonna keep and not get punished. Every week, you guys, Dan is like, man, Vincent keeps greedy hands and doesn't get punished, and this angers me. And then he keeps doing it, and Dan keeps tilting. It's really good. I highly recommend... what was that like having that on your team in Louisville?
It was good until you got punished.
Yes. Good until punished. That's the...
you keep a reasonable hand in game 1. I was like, alright. Turn 1 Blood Moon?
Sure. Yeah, it seems great.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at Martin's hand, he's got a couple lands, a Nile Spellbomb, a Relic of Progenitus, and a Bridge. And it's not exciting, but I think he has to keep this. You have Cyclers, you have 3 lands. Oh, it's like Espertez. Hang on. I don't know what the white's for. But...
Possibly, just sideboard cards.
Yeah, also, play Stony Silence, that sort of thing. Yeah, so... I think Martin is on the play, but I feel like I'm just so inclined to keep this hand if I'm him. Like, yeah, it's slow, but, like, Vince has played, like, maybe 2-3 Wednesdays of non-Jeskai control in his life, so we'll start with a Relic and send it over to Vince.
Yeah, turn 1 Relic is quite good. Not only does it mean that, you can improvise off of it, this also means that if you activate this every turn, Vince's Snapcasters are largely going to have, only a couple of targets.
Yeah, the thing with, Relic is really good at dealing with snaps. Martin also has a Nile Spellbomb, so, like, Vincent really does just, like, never getting anything into his graveyard. Notably, this is why I asked questions about that list from the GP Kobe that had Logic Knot in it. Like, right. What happens when this happens?
You feel bad.
Sure. It's just like, your Logic Knot is now, like, worse Condescend, you know? Vincent gonna fetch Sacred Foundry.
Yeah,
not the most common land to fetch out. He might have more. He might have I think he might have a Hallowed Fountain in hand or something. We do see a Remand over on his side, so whatever Martin plays next is almost assuredly gonna go back to his hand. Vincent will play a Sulphur Falls, and that'll get Relicked. Martin will go to 19. This matchup is slow and grindy.
Right. A lot of these cards, Martin's just looking to cycle later. The Spellbomb, notably, not. It's a nice utility card, but not really anything that.
But the thing is Martin is not going to get punished for this keep like he might against a Death Shadow deck,
Well, Vincent's. In terms of decks that don't apply much pressure,
Vincent's on that, like, one of the foremost. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Vincent applies more pressure than, say, Blue-White Control. Which has fallen off heavily recently, by the way.
But Vincent also has much worse threats.
Oh, no. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. Just, like, I don't... Yeah, and so Martin's going to fetch here. So we're just going to have some land drops back and forth for a while. Time in the life. What were we thinking? Can't just watch people fetch lands for, like, 15 minutes. So we'll see here what Martin, if he wants to do anything, is going to do. Martin looks like he wants to cycle the Spellbomb. Thinking about it? He does just, like... His hand is super... Like, his hand is like a land bridge.
Yeah. And
Draw Step looks like Pithing Needle?
And the thing is, like, if you go super long...
more lands. No, Torpor Orb. Okay, so Vincent Snapcasters are well and truly dead.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if you go super late, you will lose this game. Because eventually Vincent's just going to be able to counter everything.
Vincent has 4 Mana Leaks, which aren't going to be as good, 2 Remands, and 3 Cryptic Commands. Also, Martin does have a Torpor Orb in play. Needs to remember if he gets the Thopter Sword combo to sacrifice that first.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he can sacrifice the sword. Nothing will happen. Then he can sacrifice the Torpor Orb.
Right.
And then something will happen.
No, absolutely. You saw that happen last week. But yeah, so, just sort of... Martin has drawn 3 of his 4 Polluted Deltas so far. Pretty land-heavy draw. Vincent will draw. There's no... the thing is Vincent's kind of happy with this because there's not really a lot of pressure.
For Vincent, this is the dream, right? Like, you kept 7 lands. Your opponent has done nothing relevant in the first 4 turns. Is that not the dream? You're guaranteed to hit land drops for at least another 3 turns.
Oh, yeah, no, this is great.
And, once you, stock up a hand of enough burn, you can end the game fairly quickly.
So... Komodo Drake, I believe Martin actually fetched before he cracked the Spellbomb, so this he would have had access to the black. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, so Martin will play his 5th land and pass. Vincent draws another land. This is fine. Another Scalding Tarn. Now Vincent just has Cryptic up, right? And there's not that many cards that matter.
There really aren't. Ensnare Bridge...
You don't care.
Yeah, Ensnare Bridge is not going to matter in this matchup. It'll prevent the Colonnade hits, but, that's not happening anytime soon.
The only things you care about are Tezzerator and Foundry.
Yeah.
Everything else, Sword can resolve. Doesn't matter. Foundry cannot resolve. That's the critical one.
Well, you can look at what Martin has cast 4 spells in this game so far.
Yeah.
Not one of them have mattered.
Ooh, 5.
Yeah, 5. Not one of these cards have mattered yet.
Oh. Huh. So you couldn't have paid for black. River of Tears can never be tapped for black on your turn. That's wild. I did not know that. Whoa. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Vincent fetches out another Steam Vents, untaps, draws. Okay.
Alright, so Vincent now has non-lands in hand.
It's fine. He's had some non-lands for okay. Yeah, yeah. This is what we're talking about.
So
Give that old Johnny Vengeance the plus-a-roni on the land.
So the problem here is now Martin has a window.
Vincent has a remand. As long as Martin doesn't draw specifically Foundry, he's fine.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if Martin draws and plays a Foundry, which... Like,
he doesn't. Not punished.
Just not fun. And now I don't know how Martin wins the game.
I don't know. Man, dude, this is like the dream right now. This is Vincent is just loving life.
Yeah.
Martin's like, do I crack the relic here? I think you might, because you need to draw to stuff.
Yeah, I think...
Wait, that doesn't untap.
No,
Tap that land.
Martin targeted the relic.
Vincent
targeted the relic.
Oh, so it would stay tap? Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's the end of the fun.
I mean, there's a lot of things we can do about this. Presumably...
There's not that many answers to, like, Pithing Needle when you don't have...
I guess you need
cryptic.
exactly Cryptic Command here.
Yeah.
Vincent has, like, Detention Sphere. That's also good.
He doesn't have Detention Sphere. I promise you. This is known. I guess Vincent... Yeah, I guess... Wait, so you say Vincent targeted Relic with the Ajani.
Yes.
Okay. So here, we're going to cycle and Electrolyze.
Yeah, now we're looking for Cryptic Command.
Sure. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it does leave himself Cryptic Mana. You know, a wise Jeskai player draw step. I don't think he found it.
I don't think... Oh, man, Vincent's hand is nonsense.
Yeah, dude, there's, like, remands and stuff. Yeah, he's going to name the Ajani. He's going to Relic. So Relic won't untap next turn, but it'll untap the turn after. Martin has 1 land in hand. Yeah, Vincent's hand is like, what, double remand and, like, Snapcasters?
Uh-huh.
This is the slowest game of Magic.
Yeah, the thing is, Vincent also didn't draw the
I think you want to force Martin to blow the Relic here.
Yes,
Just, like, stop getting your
absolutely
graveyard
agree.
hated out. Snapcaster.
No, this is not going to do anything because of the Torpor Orb.
Oh. Yeah, Martin sees it. Vincent shakes his head.
Martin sees it.
It's
Vincent
a disaster. Vincent says, fine, I have a 2-1. Martin's like, cool, dude, I have a bridge. Notably, Martin just wins if he draws Foundry. Or were.
Looks like he did neither.
Okay, it's fine. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, okay. You know, there is some consideration for cycling...
He's just going to play another Opal to get back under the bridge.
Yeah, cycling this Relic sometime soon.
Yeah, Torpor Orb's really good. Komodo Drake in the chat asks, who's the beatdown? Trick question. There is no beatdown.
There's not.
Oh, man. Both of these players have had, you know...
There's so many cards in play, none of them do anything.
Yeah. I think we might have missed a point on Martin, though. I believe he's at 14, because I count 4 fetches plus the Electrolyze. Oh, please cast a Tezzerator.
Alright, well, Martin's looking
He's
at
tapping some mana. Spells that matter?
Ooh, that's a Tezzerator. Well,
okay,
we
time
definitely
for
don't
that
want
to
that to
die.
resolve. Well, Vincent, I mean, he has some reman, so might as well start cycling these.
I love Magic the Gathering. Notably, Martin can't get under. I guess Martin could play the land in hand and just get back under. He could cast it. He could try to cast a Tezzerator if he shocks. Oh my god, he's got shock.
See, I don't know if I like this play because this plays into Mana Leak,
right?
which would be
really
brutal.
really good.
But Vincent doesn't have a Mana Leak. Instead, has a remand to draw into another land.
And another Snapcaster.
And
I would play
another
the Snapcaster. Well, no, it doesn't matter because Martin's under the bridge again.
Yeah.
Once this Tezzerator resolves, though, it's bad times. So
Yeah, Vincent is yet
I think he's out of counter spells too.
I believe he is as well.
Uh-oh. Here it comes again.
Let's try it again. I think Vincent might have enough burn to actually kill it, though.
He has a Helix.
And a Path to Exile.
Yeah. Martin is going to plus. He's going to look to draw some cards. Or a card, an artifact specifically from the top 5.
That's a Pentad Prism he's brought to the top. Okay. Pentad Prism chosen, which suggests that that might be the only choice.
Yeah, there weren't... I think I saw, like, land, Inquisition stuff. Okay.
That's a Crucible, though.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, so Vincent does have enough burn to kill the Tezzerator.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
Getting this off the board is important before it starts making 5/5s or doing nonsense.
Yeah. Vince is gonna...
I don't think he redirected. I think Martin's at 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might also be...
I just don't think Vincent has enough... Jesus, he has so many lands in play.
And
he has another Electrolyze and a Helix, so Martin's at virtual 5. I don't hate it.
But the thing is, if Martin chooses to not be greedy and ult this Tezzerator drains, right? Or is it just damage? No, it is drain.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
Martin might think about
Prism.
it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he'll 14 Vincent?
Yes.
No. He's dead. There's a Mox Opal.
There's a Mox Opal.
He's dead. Right? I mean, he can Helix.
Oh, there's also a Whirl of Invention.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, he's getting him. Vincent's like, hey, can I read that real quick?
Vincent can Helix to like stay alive. What Martin can do is he can Whirl. Is there something you can put in that like ETB?
ETB what?
Like ETB like creates multiple artifacts.
Yeah, dude, you were for
like servo schematic.
No, you were for Foundry.
Yeah, actually,
you were for Foundry, and you just have mana to make Thopters. You have to first you stack the Torpor Orb, but. Oh wait, counterspell? Vincent says, "Get this nonsense out of it." Oh, Electrolyze.
We're gonna try to draw into the Cryptic.
Okay. Put Martin to 8. Notably, this Helix is still on the stack. So is the Tezzerator ult.
Did we draw into anything meaningful? I think he drew into another land.
Oh, God. Oh, man. I feel so bad for Vince. We put him on in these matchups, and then he just gets wrecked.
The problem is, since the Tezzerator ult is still on the stack,
he's going to get to make Thopters.
Martin gets to make 5 Thopters. 4 Thopters here, right?
No, he's just going to... He doesn't... No, it's enough to kill him through the Helix.
Yeah, because that adds additional 8 points of damage.
Holy shit. That is going to do it for game 1, folks. Vincent Adinolfi probably going for the Stonies faster than he's ever reached for a sideboard card in his life.
How did Vincent draw like 25 cards and not one of them did anything? How is that possible?
I actually don't know. That's a real question, right?
Like once Martin resolved that Torpor Orb, his hand became really bad.
I mean, it might have been. Yeah, look. If this Vincent's gonna board in like 15 cards here.
So.
Oh yeah. Matt and Dan.exe has stopped working, mostly because we are gonna give Vincent.
Cubs fan. So Martin's first play there would be you first sack the Torpor Orb and then you make the rest of them.
Yeah. So the Torpor Orb goes first.
Yeah.
And I like honestly, I think having the Torpor Orb is like better than not having it, right? It shuts down a lot of stuff. And at the same time, if you get the combo in play, you just do the orb first.
Right.
And then you're just like, go crazy.
Yeah.
And we've seen Martin do that before. We saw him do it last week when he thought he missed it.
You know the funny thing here is all the cards we said did nothing.
Yeah.
I actually did quite a bit. Like
with the draining?
Well, the fact that Martin was alive
was
because he had an Ensnaring Bridge out.
Ensnaring Bridge, Pithing Needle, Like, so first off, he wouldn't have had any lands if he hadn't gotten rid of if he hadn't Pithy Needle the Ajani.
Right.
And then, he would have been getting hit by a Snapcaster and would have been within burn range if he didn't have the bridge.
And because of the Torpor Orb, Vincent couldn't get value off of, like, Snap Electrolyze, let me try to draw into something relevant.
Right. Vincent draws 3 more cards. Maybe it matters.
Right, because, like, Vincent saw 0 Cryptics, which, I'm not entirely sure he has, how many he has in his deck.
He has 3.
Also, didn't find his Rev, which he might have multiple.
2 revs. Yeah.
So these are 5 cards that, like, really needed to draw one of them and saw none of them.
Oh, man, if he had hit a Rev, that would have been a Rev for, like, 10.
Yes.
I mean, and not only that, it's Rev for 10 and then immediately kill you when I untap because I just draw all the burn.
Yes. With enough mana to cast, like...
Right, yeah, you have 13 mana. Like, you can cast probably 3 or 4 burn spells. Like, they're dead.
Yeah, so look at Martin's sideboard. There's... I'm a little surprised to see the Aethersworn Cannon is not coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it does just eat bolts, though. Although I'm guessing that's what Vincent's boarding out.
Right. Well, the cannon is also, left unchecked means that Snapcaster does nothing.
That's true. That's true. I don't disagree with that. I just don't know if Canonist is, like... I don't know if it's high impact enough.
A Cubs fan. He does, in fact, main deck Torpor Orb. Mostly because I assume you can... You can whirl for it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You just cast Whir of Invention and get Torpor.
Oh man, what a game!
This card's great. Used to be a sideboard card that you'd sometimes see against Twin. Sort of fell off when Twin fell off, but Martin Sheeler putting it to good use. Soon to be.
Yeah, Torpor Orb recently reprinted in a creature version. In the form of Hushwing Gryff.
Yeah, Hushwing Gryff a little less good, though. 3 mana is a lot.
3 mana is a lot. Being a 2/1, also, kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's not... What? Is that not how it's... Oh, it's G-R-Y.
No, yeah, Gryff spelled with a Y.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... This is
all I want right now... Mm-hmm. I want Hallowed Moonlight on a creature in Modern. I want Containment Priest.
Okay, so you just want Containment Priest?
Mostly that, yes.
Oh, God. I don't even think Containment Priest would be horrible. Like, I think it'd be fine. You could definitely, like, they make infinite mana and then they, like, cast Cordo or cast... No, I guess they're going to cast the Ballista.
No, this hard counter to Cord and Coco. To be fair, it is symmetrical, so,
Yeah, but who cares? Who cares? Like, you just cord for this, and then no one can do anything ever again.
This also means that there are no Kitchen Finks shenanigans. and keep in mind, this doesn't just, like, stop it. If you kill a Kitchen Finks, it's just exiled now.
Yeah, it's great. Why would you be afraid? Oh, man, I would. The thing is that they put this in the Amonkhet Masterpiece set. So, like, I don't think we're getting it in Modern... Not ever, but like, I think it's powerful enough that like they might not put it in the format. It's such a good hoser.
If it costs 3, I think they might they might consider putting this thing.
Sure,
but at 2 and especially 2 mana with flash, it's very powerful.
You know what else? Is that this card doesn't stop Marvel. So like, god damn it, Marvel.
It does not, in fact, stop Marvel.
Like, if this card, if Marvel, like a Sane Magic card, put things into play, it would stop Marvel.
No, you cast it.
So dumb. Dude, literally. Like, you know what? Marvel could even say, if it's an instant or sorcery, or if it's an instant sorcery or enchantment, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, put it onto the battlefield.
Even then, like... You still have the answer to Ulamog.
Sure, but you're not down 2 lands.
That's fair. Alright, so I think... I'd say, is it Staticaster in Vincent's hand as well as...
I think it was a Counterflux.
Oh, okay. Also reasonable.
Yeah. We see in Martin's hand, we see Padim! I think I say his name like that at least once a week. Padim! There's twice now, but... This card is hilarious in this deck. It does so much work.
This is just personal Howling Mine.
Yeah.
Well, and then some. The artifacts you control are hexproof.
Dude, when you Tezzerator your artifact into a 5/5 hexproof.
How do you lose?
I don't know.
Yeah. Now Vincent almost certainly.
Dude, Martin is an animal. He's so good. the chat's just like, what is this?
Also, a Cubs fan. It's good to see you back. We missed you for a couple of weeks here.
He was here last week, but okay. We'll start off on a Thoughtseize from Martin. Okay.
I mean, this is a lot of nonsense. If I'm Martin,
Counterflux not close.
Yeah, I think this is Counterflux. The spell only hits exactly where.
Yeah.
And eventually Vincent's going to draw enough land to cast his Counterflux. Although he currently is 2 away, because neither of the 2 in hand cast it.
Yeah, notably this Bolt's also pretty dead. Vincent could just get run over this game, honestly.
He very well could.
Yeah. We'll see the plains and a pass. He just draw a Flooded Strand.
Yeah, he scried the Flooded to the top, so...
Oh, okay, I feel. Martin has another Thoughtseize, though.
Yeah, I might want to wait on that.
Just because his hand is, like, straight garbage right now.
Yeah, his hand is so bad that, like...
Who cares about taking things out of it? Sure. I feel.
Yeah, this is one thing that a lot of people forget to do. You know, you draw like, Thoughtseize into Inquisition, you immediately fire off. Like, there's an argument to, like, holding it until it's relevant.
Yeah, like when you want to resolve a spell or something.
Yeah, like, you're not looking to cast, like, a Liliana next turn or something, so... You've got some time.
Dude, you can't whir for Liliana.
You cannot.
That's... Martin notably does have a Ghost Quarter. We have seen Ghost Quarter. We have seen Crucible.
Speaking of which, he just drew a Whirl. So this means that we're going to have to eventually take this Dispel.
There's another Thoughtseize. Vincent considers his life choices.
Vincent looks at his hand, thinks about it, and then...
buddy?
The hand's pretty bad.
It's not pretty bad. It's like atrocious bad.
He's got what? Tech Edge Bolt?
Tech Edge Bolt Scalding Tarn. If he draws Cryptic here, everything is fine. But that's like every game, so yeah. I don't know. You know that emoji that's like the guy and you can see all his teeth but he's not smiling, he's sort of nervous? Like, that's me in real life right now.
Me in real life is just, flat line mouth.
Flat line mouth? Yeah, yeah. That's pretty dwan.
Alright.
Draw step. Play the Padim. Play the Padim. Oh no, it's a tapped land! It's a disaster!
Yeah. Well, part of the problem also is that Martin hasn't drawn any artifacts.
It's fine. They still have hexproof.
The Padim actually doesn't do a whole lot if it's just the 1/4.
Dude, chat said it first and chat said it best. It's a 20-turn clock.
18 here, really.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Ooh.
So,
yeah, this is also true. Dan is One Punch Man. Not close. Vincent draws and plays a Tech Edge. Will swing the turn.
I think Vincent's going to try Tech Edge him off of something.
I mean, you Tech Edge the... Oh, we're going to whir for 1. Let's go. Let's go.
What costs 1 that we care about?
You can get Cage. You can get Mox. Yeah, you don't want Mox open. You can get Cage, though.
I guess Cage is okay.
Cage is fine. I don't know if Pithing Needle probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess
I think it's Cage's best, but, like, this is what's cool. It's like a cool toolbox thing.
Right, Cage is probably best.
That's pretty neat.
Opal is also an option.
Vincent, I believe, does have a wear tail.
Actually, Opal, not a great option.
No, Opal, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, Opal is not good. Wait. Those are tapped, Martin. Yeah, Martin did this. He does not get to just, like, untap all his lands. He'll play a Polluted Delta and pass. Vincent will untap and draw. But yeah, so Vince does have a wear tear. He can use that on the Cage if he wants to.
But the problem here is, like, that card is so good, but once Martin casts the Padim, you have to burn it on a Grafdigger's Cage.
But burning it on the Grafdiggers means that you can, like, eventually Snapcaster it back.
Right, well, it's not terrible, right? It's better than, like, having to burn it on, like, a Pentad Prism or something.
Also, yeah, for chat, Fire and Ice is not legal in Modern, and that is a sad thing. Martin's going to tap 4 the Padim. Let's go. Vincent might do something in response, though.
Yeah.
I would respond by shooting the Cage. I could be mistaken, but...
Well, if he doesn't, Martin's just gonna draw cards for like a
Yeah.
million turns.
Yeah, so in response to the Padim, that will die.
Right.
Martin doesn't have any artifacts, though, so, like, it's fine.
Yeah. Vincent also has successfully not drawn anything relevant other than that. It still has the bolt in hand. I think it's bolt land.
Oh, Martin has a Tezzerator, though. Tezzerator seems pretty great.
Yeah, no fear. Just gonna run it out.
I mean, Vincent doesn't have counter magic.
He does not.
Like, hasn't drawn any counter magic whatsoever. He's gonna plus and look for through the fight. Oh, Cruise. Oh, oh,
Ooh.
Run for your life!
Oh man, this if Vincent doesn't draw something
He
relevant
needs a
here,
Snapcaster for the Crucible.
like
Wait, no, he needs to kill the Padim first.
Yeah.
He can't do anything. Run!
Vincent needs counter magic now.
Ooh.
Okay, purge it.
Ooh.
All right, if Vincent draws a land here, I think he just loses the game. He drew a land.
Dan, stop.
You know, burn would have also been fine because then you can kill the Padim and like at least kind of be in the game. I don't think Martin's gonna have any fear though.
Draws a bridge. Dude, how can you lose to Tezzerator? It's great.
Yeah.
Blurp. Vincent has like 4 turns left of not getting. No. I lied. 3 turns. Goodbye, Steve Vince.
So I don't.
Oh God.
So I don't really like this play. I think Martin would have been better served waiting on this Ghost Quarter plan, developing another land. Because like Vincent's not running out of basics anytime soon.
He has 4 or 5 basics. I think maybe 4.
Because eventually, like next turn, you can triple Ghost Quarter. Like
Right.
here, I like just getting another land. You do have a Whirl in hand, so like
Yeah.
we're so far from Ghost Quarting Vincent out of the game. I don't know if that's the plan we want. And then Vincent does have a path.
Okay.
So now like there's a lot of live draws.
Like Snapcaster, kill your Crucible is the best one though.
Snapcast is very good.
Notably, Martin can't whir for Welding Jar. Colonnade tap.
Colonnade.
Oh, that's not it.
Nope, still have a bolt in hand.
Did you draw? No.
Just immediately
No.
draws another Padim.
There's another Padim? That's not a one of? On what planet is that not just a one of? Oh my God.
Alright. So one thing Martin could do is that he could leave up,
God.
he could leave up a water grave instead of just island. At least represent something. But like,
Dude, he's either playing a Tezzerator or a Padim.
I love it. Just run out the Padim. You know Vincent's card is Lightning Bolt. You know it.
Yeah. That's great.
Because he's had that since you first started the Thoughtseize. So actually, it's an argument for, Tezzeret's the more important threat to run out. Right? Maybe you want to jam the Tezzeret?
Martin's never been afraid in his life. We're gonna minus. Ooh.
Oh!
Okay, so this, I'm not a huge fan of this.
No, I think you're winning the long game 100%.
I think you plus because now this bolt just kills your Tezzeret.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe, like, Martin seemed way too okay with that.
I mean, like, if Martin had another Tezzeret in hand,
Sure.
like, maybe that's fine.
Yeah, I can't tell what Vince drew.
Does this make it permanently a 5/5?
Yes.
Oh, well, now I don't hate that. It is a clock now.
Martin's gonna Ghost Quarter the Colonnade. Yeah, it just becomes a 5/5 artifact creature.
I mean, I don't. The one problem is, like, I think I would rather resolve the Padim first, because now you expose that Crucible to a path.
Yeah, I agree. Martin with a Fatal Push still in his deck. I guess it kills.
I think if you run the Padim out,
If the Padim resolves, the game's over.
yeah, I don't know how you lose if.
So Vincent has to draw something relevant.
Yeah. Now, if Vincent drew a Snapcaster or a Path, I think he's in very good shape.
I don't think he drew
I think that was
either.
like Glacial something.
Glacial Fortress?
Yeah.
Vincent will go to 8. That's a hexproof 5/5.
You gotta kill
You
the.
need, like, runner Snapcaster.
I mean, you need like something like Verdict, but like, what are the chances you left in Verdict for this matchup?
I don't know. Verdict doesn't seem atrocious.
Alright.
Trigger 1, draw another. Dude, this Padim is...
Uh-oh.
That's an Ashiok. In what universe are we living? Oh, fantastic. Just beautiful. Beautiful stuff all around.
I don't even. Yeah, actually, with a push in hand, like, what do we fear? We fear nothing. Because Vincent can't even like Snapcaster or Bolt. Like, it gets pushed.
Oh, please do it.
There's Ashiok. There are so many cards on board right now that we can't answer. It's like...
There goes the Rev.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, but that's a Celestial Purge. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
It's not fine, by the way. I think he has a... It's not a card that's relevant. He's dead on this attack to this freaking 5/5 Hexproof Crucible.
And of note as well, Vincent, I think, is down to 1 basic in deck.
I think he might be out of basics, actually.
Oh, these Ghost Quarters are about to start doing a lot of work.
I think he only plays 4. Because he has some check lanes.
There's 4.
Do it. What is it?
Oh, he's a Cryptic Command in hand.
Oh, so he's going to go for the upkeep. Bounce.
Can't do it!
Tilt. Tilt.
So now Vincent is priced into tap your team.
Yeah, dude. This Crucible world is quite good. Oh, my God.
Oh, and Martin has another Ghost Quarter in hand. He can triple Ghost Quarter here. No, quadruple Ghost Quarter. He can go... Because he can... Oh man, this is ugly.
Or he can just whir for something.
No. Quadruple Ghost Quarter.
Vincent says, fine. Tap, draw. Oh, flips a Mana Leak. Okay. Well, this is fine.
Okay, so the correct play is to leave up War, right?
Yeah.
But the fun play is to Ghost Quarter you 4 times. Because you can cut him off of, like, white.
Yeah,
you can cut him. You can just strip.
You can start strip mining. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Alright, now, like, Martin also hasn't played his land for turn.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. Oh, there we go. It begins.
Oh, he's gonna try to come off of red. That's for wear and tear. Which side is
red? Is the artifact side and shatter. Oh no. Vince is gonna use floating red to bolt Martin.
All right, this I mean we're gonna need to draw running Snapcasters.
He doesn't have any more red, dude. It's over.
Well, I mean I was thinking Snap Cryptic, but like
it's over. That's gonna do it. Vincent Adinolfi extends the hand in concession to Martin Sheeler. Esper Tezzerator taking it down 2-0 over Jeskai Control. Oh God. Oh, that never feels good. You end the game with like 6 of your lands in your graveyard. You know, you're just like, what are these cards? Ashiok, Collective Brutality. Oh man. Brutal. The second, okay, let's be real here. The second Padim, yeah, we messed up the fair chat. I think we messed up the land drop thing. Holy triple Ashiok? Double Padim? What world do we live in? Ugh. Holy moly. Oh. Martin Sheeler has never been afraid of anything in his life, folks. And that is the darn truth. Oh my God. Vincent with a similarly huge board, but just never found anything relevant. I don't know, man. I don't know. This seems like this matchup actually just seems impossible, though. I honestly have no idea how, you Thopter Sword, Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus is such a strong card. You can make 5/5s. Padim is, like, actually a huge problem. And, yeah, wow, just... Yeah, Martin definitely, yeah, so, yeah, looking at the board out, he looks like, yeah, he did look like he took out the Thopter Sword, or at least most of it, which is, something that I think I agree with. If you get Stonied, it can be really hard, but like, if you get Stonied, it's just like gone forever, which isn't ideal. And it also lets you turn into this really weird sort of planeswalker-y build thing, and you're just like, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, man. Okay. The Benjamin Barry draw spells, it's just 2 Revs and 2 Remands and 4 Electrolyze in Vincent's list right now.
Don't forget some number of Cryptic commands.
Oh, yeah. Cryptics, too. But yeah, nothing. There's no think twice or other like raw.
No.
Just card advantage. Woo! What a game.
Yeah, think twice. Has as recently as a couple of months ago, sometimes sees a 1 or 2 of inclusion in these kind of lists.
Yeah, I think it actually showed up in one of the lists from SCG. So, but nothing out there. So we'll throw it back up to the booth. We'll talk briefly, and then we'll probably throw it to a short break. But let's go over to the
Copenhagen.
Oh yeah, so Copenhagen we got through Grixis Shadow, Lantern Control. We talked about Living End, Titan Shift. Doing Titan Shift things. I don't. Very standard.
One difference in this list is instead of playing we're down to only 2 Summoners packs, which means that we only have 6 Primeval Titans instead of 8. But we do have a main deck Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
Yeah, it seems defensible.
Yeah. This list with that package as well means that you're not playing Prismatic Omen because if you're playing anything less than 8 Primeval Titans, you don't want Prismatic Omen.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You have Storm.
Yeah, Martin Mueller playing Storm to a top 8 finish as well.
One random Simian Spirit Guide, man, you just get him with the Lotus Petal. I like it.
Sometimes Lotus Petal is what you need.
Sometimes instant speed Lotus Petal, yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing is in gifts piles, this is
okay.
Right. This can make it very complicated, or it gives you options on what things you can do.
Options there. A dredge list. Pretty standard dredge list. Again, there's 2 flex slots in this deck.
Yeah, pretty stock. There's a main deck Rally the Peasants instead of the creature version of Rally.
Scourge Devil, yeah.
Yeah.
A Counters Company deck.
And I do truly hate this name.
I completely agree with you. Counters Company is the worst. Vizier combo would be fine.
Right.
But whoever makes these names at Wizards, sure, you know what? If you don't want to call it Suicide Zoo, I understand. But Counters Company, please.
Also, Marvelous Energy.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's what they call it, the Marvel decks. Marvelous Energy.
It's the opposite of Marvelous, though, because it's slowly killing their primary consumer format.
I don't know. Sometimes you spin to Marvel. But yeah, a pretty stock Vizier list.
And then this wild Death Shadow list with Tribal Flames in it.
Yeah.
Woo! This has Renegade Rallier, Grim Flayers,
right,
Cattles.
And the Tribal Flames list actually was featured on coverage a couple of times. It's really interesting because with the Death Shadow deck, you're naturally getting a bunch of the land types, and you don't need to deviate too much to include Tribal Flames, and you can even add an island, a source of island.
In this case it's a Steam Ents.
Right, that all of a sudden 2 mana deal 5 is not terrible.
It's a lot. This deck, Tarmogoyf, Shadow, Nacatl, Swift Spear, Street Wraith to enable the Shadows, Gorklan Rampager, Renegade Rallier as a tool to Renegade Rallier your Tarmogoyf seems kind of nuts.
Right, Renegade Rally or Rally back Death Shadow also insane.
Yeah, I mean it's quite good.
And it's added for it gets a little bit better as well because you have Mishra's Bauble. So in addition to fetch lands, you can use the Bauble to turn on Revolt.
Right. And so that's the top 8 of Copenhagen. Similarly sort of diverse. That Tribal Flames deck certainly a very sort of rogue deck, making it all the way to the top 8. I don't know. Every time that there's normally at modern GPs there's 1, maybe 2 decks in the top 8 where it's just oh, this is awesome. I haven't seen this before. That is definitely one of those. Over to Baltimore.
Right. Baltimore was taken out by Brad Nelson. Reed Duke, for some reason, was playing this event. And also did quite well.
Reed Duke sometimes plays in
I think this is the first time I've seen Reed Duke play in SCG.
I think it's maybe the second time I've seen
since the last Baltimore.
Okay.
He was on a team, I believe, for the Team Baltimore event.
Gotcha. Yeah, so looking at this, so Brad Nelson, Grixis Death Shadow, somehow beating Dredge, which seems like an atrocious matchup in the finals.
Yeah.
Brad Nelson also at the center of some amount of controversy about slow play. I didn't really follow that, but...
Yeah, Brad Nelson has received complaints in the past about the speed of play, but then again, most pros have.
Sure.
I think one thing that, Brad is like infamous for is taking bathroom breaks in the middle of matches, which you do get a time extension for, but
I don't like that in the slightest.
But yeah, this has come up quite because Brad Nelson has done quite well in the past, so it actually has come up at like numerous times he's on camera. Finished round 1, and then I was like, where people were like, why are we paused? And I was like, oh, because one of the players went to the bathroom. But yeah, I think the most notable thing in this top 8 or even this event was that Reed Duke just playing the old school Junt and doing well with it. Like Smash Day 1 with it.
Dude, the Duke.
Yeah, I mean,
he's so good.
There's nothing too saucy in this. Like this main deck Chandra Torture Defiance instead of but that's like you've always had a couple of 4-mana flex spots.
We'll put his deck in the chat here for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big one. So 1 main deck Lavamancer, 3 main deck Scavenging Ooze, 4 Goyf, 1 Olivia Voldaren. Back to the old school, like make a gigantic flyer.
Yeah, I mean this is super old school because Olivia fell out of favor for Huntmaster, and then Huntmaster fell out of favor for Kalidas.
Yeah, no. So we're back too, but yeah, standard mana base. Some blooming marsh included. Just Jund cards.
Yeah, just Jund cards.
Seems fine.
2 Leyline of the Voids in the sideboard. Other than that, nothing that notable.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting top 8. I think we can talk about the slightly crazier top 8 of the classic after a break after the 3rd round. But for right now, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna set a timer for 5 minutes. We'll be back right around when that timer ends. If we don't have pairings yet, we will be talking about the classic from this weekend in Baltimore. And if we do have pairings, we will be getting you the 3rd round. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We will be right back, folks. Stick with us here at MTG Card Market Wednesday Night Mod.
Blue Moon is brewed with
like a roaring ocean, slowing motion. changes from beneath the sand. Please stick with me, close.
Alright, we're back with Wednesday Night Modern here at MTG Card Market. We got the 4th round coming up, and
no, 3rd round.
3rd round coming up. You're right.
Yes.
We've only done 2 of those so far.
Correct.
3rd round coming up. I think I hear them calling about pairings now, so we'll hold off on discussing the Classic until...
Actually, I think that was the call for time.
That's a call for time? Alright, gross. We can talk about the Classic then. So, despite... You know, so this Classic was held at a Modern Open where a lot of Modern players were playing in day 2. But, regardless, Jeskai Control won the whole thing, so ha.
It did.
With a list, you know, somewhat similar to the one that we saw from Vincent Adinolfi. Some differences. There is a Secure the Waste in the list, and here we'll post this, like, whole page.
Secure the Waste is an interesting win con, you know. When you get to the state where there's like, yeah, I have like 15 lands, that this is a way to very quickly turn the corner.
Yeah.
One interesting thing about this list is he only played 3 Snapcasters. Despite playing like a mono spell deck.
Yeah, that's, you know, so you want to draw Snapcasters, but if you draw too many at once, you lose. But I still think that in this deck specifically, you should just play 4.
Yeah.
You know what? He won a Classic, and I have never won a Classic, so I could be wrong. But also notably in the list, 1 Censor.
Sure, why not?
It's just fun, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's just... Oops, that's... Wow, okay. Uh-huh. Right, so it's this card. Yes.
Yes.
One of these bad boys.
Standard All-Star.
Quite good. And then, you know, some number of Logic Knot. Does have some Think Twice in here.
I mean, and not just some. He has 3 Think Twice.
Yeah, that's a lot of Think Twice. If you have 2 Think Twice in your opener, it's like, hope we get there.
Yeah, and not the full Burn Suite either. He's playing a 2-2 split of Helixes and Bolts. So
yeah, the 2 Bolts is like, and 4 Electrolyze, just like, I mean, I guess Bolt is at an all-time low, honestly.
Right. It does feel like this deck can draw into like non-functional hands. There's a lot of
I agree.
A lot of what you're doing needs to line up properly.
As it is in control decks these days.
Yeah. Also, you know, like the other deck, you're playing the Logic Knots almost as bad Syncopates.
Yeah, that's fair. We also have the list that, you know, came in second in this Classic. Was this truly... Okay, so first off, there exists in this top 8 2 burn decks. But somehow, this 4-color control list with the cards, like, with, like, Tasigur, Kolaghan's Command, Sphinx's Revelation, Lingering Souls. Like, basically it's an Esper deck splashing Kolaghan's Command.
And Electrolyze.
And Electrolyze.
Yeah, there's
1
also...
Electrolyze, 3 Kolaghan's Command is your red splash.
Yeah, this also means that he has a singleton Gifts Ungiven, which is quite good as well.
Yes, but also, why just 1?
Like we said before, there's a lot of clunky cards in this deck already.
Sure.
And I mean, so gifting for like, you know, Electrolyze, a Cryptic, a Snapcaster, and like a Rev. There's no bad pile in that.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you just, you know, you just get the 2 for 1.
Yeah, but
value,
you have to live
like,
long enough for that to happen.
Yeah, that's the... I don't know. I don't know how much the red... So in the sideboard we have the red splash. Is it Staticaster? I do like that as a splash card. 2 a Johnny Vengeant and 1 Nahiri the Harbinger also as a splash. I'm not sure how much I like those, honestly.
The Nahiri just allowing you to cycle through a lot of, you know, garbage.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, you don't have, like, a game-ending... Like, Nahiri get Tassigur's bad. So, like,
yeah.
you just have to play it as more removal, I guess. I'm not sure. It's
well, the thing is, like, the Nahiri is permanent Merfolk Looter, right?
Sure.
Which, like, eventually is going to get to the point where, like, you just can't attack it down.
That's fair. Yeah, if it goes up to, like, you know, like 12 or something.
Right. And then, like, you can just get a Tassigur and then, you know, replay it next turn.
Yeah.
Or you can just get a value Snapcaster, you know, flash something else back.
Looking at the rest of this top 8, I guess getting Snapcaster is not the worst thing. Burn.
Double burn decks.
Both of them playing Atarka's command,
Yeah.
too. So people going back to the green splash. No Nakaddles, though. One Harsh Mentor between the two. Living End. Living End seeming to be, making strong performances lately.
Yeah, it's just
The new cyclers.
It's
among
very
other
difficult
things.
to interact with, right?
Right.
Especially if people are going to Grafdigger's Cage,
Sure.
which they kind of are, because Grafdigger's Cage does everything you want it to against
Mm-hmm.
Dredge and the Vizier combo. Well, it does some things you want in the Vizier combo, right? You
Right.
can't hit Coco or Cord from it, but yeah. Other than that, that's kind of what Modern looks like. Extremely diverse right now.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, wacky stuff like Red-Black Eldrazi. Like, what? Tarnation?
Well, I mean, so you look at the red-black Eldrazi list, it's just good red-black cards with Eldrazi, with the Eldrazi mana base.
Sure.
Like, yeah, it has like a random Thundermaw. Thundermaw's a fine card. It's just like, if you jam a bunch of good cards together and then run it in a gauntlet with where a bunch of people have also done that, eventually one of these are going to do well.
Yeah, we also have a 4-color Saheeli deck, so green, white, blue, so mostly a Bant deck, and then you have the red splash for 1 Nahiri and 4 Saheeli Rai, along with, 4 Felidar Guardian, which you can use to blink your Kitchen Finks, your Meddling Mages, your Eternal Witness, your Thrag Tusk, your Voice of Resurgence. Yeah, I guess that doesn't do anything, but, like, Reflector Mage in this deck as well. Seems like... And then sometimes you just get to win the game with Saheeli and Felidar.
Yeah,
It got banned in Standard, right? So clearly has something going for it.
Yeah, yep. Well, that in of itself is another conversation entirely, right? We have a Standard GP coming up this weekend. That
Is Marvel more or less annoying than Saheeli?
yeah, I mean it's a good
What are your
question.
personal thoughts on that? Because you play Standard and I don't.
I think it's certainly less fun. Like Saheeli, at least you can interact with that combo. The problem is like the deck just becomes like super value, right? Like you don't need to instantly win with the Saheeli combo, but like you just blink like an Oath of Chandra and that's like good.
Sure.
Or blink a Rogue Refiner and that's fine as well. Yeah, ultimately, I think that Wizards would snap ban Marvel if they hadn't already banned 4 other cards.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think that a 3rd consecutive banning would do good things.
The confidence, yeah, like that's the only argument I can see against not banning it. And part of the problem also is if they don't do it, Alpha Devastation, it's going to look very similar, right? Like, if you look at cards like Manglehorn, it's hard to be more hateful than Manglehorn, right? Manglehorn says ETB destroy an artifact and artifacts come into play tapped. That's like literally everything you want to do against this deck. Even that's not enough to hold the deck down because they can play a value game. So unless you want to go a step further in the hate you have, which might be.
I mean that's like Stony Silence level hate.
Yeah, like we're getting close to like you need to print Pity Needle or Stony Silence.
I don't hate Pithing Needle, honestly.
No,
I think that Pithing Needle would be super fine.
Right.
I mean, the problem though is that even though Pithing Needle would be an answer,
the deck still can grind late, and again,
and not only that, but like if you have to main deck Pithing Needle, there's something wrong with your format.
Right. So, it'd be interesting to see what happens from there.
Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem like there are a lot of good options.
I mean, we're getting pretty close to when the next ban cycle comes out, right? It's like 6 weeks after PT.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like we're into the range where that's coming up.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. It's coming up, but it's like I don't see them banning Marvel because that would be like
it'd be a lot.
It'd be a lot of ban lists in a row with a ban, or like a lot of ban, not necessarily in a row, but like in a very short amount of time.
The thing is, like, if you see yourself banning it in the future, you might as well do it now. And
yeah, but it's just like, can you ban another card out of Standard?
this card's Ulamog's gonna be around for another 6 months. Marvel's gonna be around with the existence of Marvel, this is gonna be around until next year, next December. So if you don't ban it now, this puts a cap on like what you can, like the good stuff you can print, right? Because the deck almost in its entirely still exists. And while like the threats might be worse than Ulamog going forward, there are still a lot of good, like expensive things you can hit.
Oh, pairings, sweet pairings. You can do that one. Some good ships passing in the night, yeah. Alright, so we have pairings. We are going to the third round. I will throw it down to the play overlay now in order to complete prep. Okay. I might have to go fix that. That's actually really bothersome. I'm gonna go fix that after I do some resetting here. People who bump the camera. Worst people. It's like, hey, there's this camera thing. Please don't bump it. Oops. Okay. Are you right? SKR. Oh, there's a Z in there. Okay. CPCZAK. Okay. So we are going to be watching Tony Skripchek on the right here against Ryan O'Malley. Ryan playing green-white Tron, presumably, and Tony on mono-green, or like Tony on like green, like not mono-green, but like almost mono-green Nykthos. Ryan's just gonna flop some cards on the table. These two play here a lot, though. They know each other.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna flash a star and a Ulamog.
This is one of very few decks that actually play those. So
I can only think of one deck that plays those cards.
Hey man, you never know. There might be an Ulamog in like a KCI deck or something.
I guess that's true. Although, if you can make 10 mana, you probably can make 15.
Sure.
And at that point, an Emrakul is probably where you want to be.
I agree. Just saying it happens. We'll put everybody at 2-0. Thank you to P_sways for the follow.
Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting matchup. Really depending on how explosive both draws are going to be. Yeah. Tony's going to have access. Yeah, Tony's going to have access to a 6 slime in the main, but looks like he didn't have enough land as keep. Ryan has an Ulamog in hand, which is an effective mulligan, and 6 other lands. I think he might have natural Tron though, so he might be able to, potentially play this a turn 4 Ulamog, but doesn't really have much more gas past that. But yeah, Tony's deck is certainly capable of absurd draws. I think at one point we saw him play turn 2 Hornet Queen.
Turn 2 Hornet Queen was legit.
Yeah.
Don't hate.
So we see Arbor Elf and Utopia Sprawl. I think that's like everything you want to do.
Who won the roll?
I do not remember.
Okay.
But it looks like Tony did.
Yes, Tony has played this deck to several pretty good results. SCG Regionals, SCG Opens, and Classics. One of the only people I know who plays it, very good at the deck. Has Summoner's Pact, Burning Tree, Arbor Elf. Like, here we go.
He has 3 mana dorks. But Tony, kept the land on top.
Nice.
Was debating whether or not he wanted to play it turn 1. He ultimately decided he was going to. Now, there's a lot of, like, kind of nutty draws that he can hit. Utopia Sprawl is probably the best one that he can hit.
Utopia Sprawl will make him 4 mana. Assuming he draws a second land. He needs to draw another land, though. Oh, he draws a land. It's great. Just run him out there. What are we afraid of? Burning Tree. And sure. Okay. We'll leave we'll let our red go away. But, board is huge. Nykthos is great. Gonna crack the star, draw a card.
A Nykthos would be absurd. The Summoner Pact does give him a little flexibility. Now, awkwardly, Tony can only make 5 instead of 6. So the Primeval Titan is not going to be online. Unless he draws exactly
sure.
a land.
Well, let's see what he's got.
Oh, wow.
How much is this?
Well, each Arbor Elf now taps for 2, so this is
6, 7.
Yeah, he's X to the 7, so you can play a Hornet Queen.
I think I like Acidic Slime more.
Yeah, Acidic Slime would be quite good. The problem is our clock is very slow, and there's no way to like bounce an Acidic Slime in this deck.
Sure, But like,
So
what else are you gonna get?
Tony might also be thinking of getting Primeval.
Primeval
Titan.
Titan would do a lot of work at just like attacking for 6, but
Yeah, and also awkwardly doesn't quite have enough for Crater Hoof. That actually might be what Tony is waiting on. If he draws a land, he has to largely tap out, but I think
still a pretty big swing.
yeah, Ryan is dead to a Crater Hoof. Ryan is dead to a basic land. And Tony can't hate seeing that. Yeah, because you cracked the star, that means you're not getting Karn here. Karn would be, obviously absurd. You hit the forest, and then, like, now you're not really doing anything.
You make like 4 mana. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, so land here means that Tony can Crater Hoof and attack with Birds, Crater Hoof, and Burden Tree, and that's super lethal.
Yeah.
Because everything gets +5.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Okay, so Ryan with the Tron land here.
So we're looking just really for a land.
The thing is that Ryan can't crack the map and play the Ulamog, which is the next turn, which is the problem.
I think Tony.
Does Tony have it?
Well, so Tony can still get the Crater Hoof.
Jesus.
And this is going to be I think this is still lethal, all right? Because it's going to be +10 from the trigger, and then the bodies alone. It's a 4/4, 5/5,
5/5.
5/5. Yeah, so it's 17.
Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Ryan's gonna look at his hand. Doesn't have any color sources, so. Yeah, just gonna count the mana, make sure it's correct. Yes, Arbor Elf taps for 2, so that's 6, 7, 8. Hit you for 17. 16.
16, exactly.
Oh,
lethal.
exactly. Yeah. Well, there. How about that?
He needed the damage on the previous turn. Jeez. What a time to be alive.
That was the nice whole. Well, I guess that was turn 4, yeah.
Yeah. It was turn 4, but like
He could have done like serious damage on turn 3.
Tony shows us triple Blood Moon.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Tony could have. I guess a normal deck like turn 3 if he got a Primeval Titan or a Hornet Queen would be pretty unbeatable.
Hornet Queen is literally just.
But against Tron, that's the Hornet Queen isn't lights out. If you hit an Ugin or O-Stone, Hornet Queen's kind of embarrassing actually.
Yeah, I mean the Ugin does have to.
Ugin does have to die.
I mean, what happened? No, the Ugin just zeros, and then the next turn it pluses on the original one.
Yes. Well, you probably -1 to kill all the elves.
Oh yeah, and then the enchantment. But yeah, but like naked Hornet Queen, you just 0 Ugin and it's fine.
Yeah.
You could also, if you're very if you have to get off the board, you can just -7.
Yes.
God, the Planeswalkers for Tron come in with super high loyalty.
Yes, they do.
So much.
Yes, they do. Tony also looking at a Dragon Lord Atarka. Which is pretty saucy.
That's what I want. Oh man, I want 8 mana. Freaking like. I don't even know what spell that is. Deal 5 divided among everything.
Except player, you can't 5 your opponent. You can only hit Planeswalkers and creatures.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's
It's Dragon Lord Atarka.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very much an important interaction.
Yeah. So like not great because you can't hit like Tron doesn't have creatures you can kill with this, but like it is just an 8/8 flyer with trample.
Yeah. Like this is really hard to deal with.
I mean, Tron probably has the best ways to deal with it out of most decks, like Carn it, Ulamog it, race it with Wormcoil.
Ulamog, and this is also Ulamog, yes. Ugin, you have to trade it for it.
Sure. But like, what else was your Ugin gonna do?
Yeah, well, Ugin can, I mean, actually, you probably can't, right? Because Dragon Lord is probably gonna knock Ugin like really low.
You have to just -7.
Yeah.
You're not.
Well, it's probably not gonna be on 7. All right. If you Atarka it for 5.
Oh, if you play the Atarka second, yeah. I'm saying if they already have the Atarka and you play the Ugin.
Sure.
But yeah, if they have an Ugin and you play the Atarka, you just put 5 to the Ugin. It's fine.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, that's that dope Ugin promo art. That card, the promo Ugin is like $200.
Yeah, 100. Alright, looks like Tony's keeping his hand. I did see an Oath of Nissa, which is an excellent way for this deck to effectively ponder. Now, one thing that Oath of Nissa doesn't get is it doesn't get Blood Moon. This reads, get a permanent other than enchantment.
Yeah.
That's,
Fair enough.
That's the shorthand of what Oath of Nissa says.
Planeswalker, creatures, lands.
Yeah.
No, it can't get artifacts.
Oh, well, there were... Okay, in Standard, there were no relevant artifacts.
Sure. Well, yeah, so it can't get... So it's get a non-artifact or enchantment permanent. Looks like we're looking at maybe... I mean, map, some Tron... At least one Tron piece.
Yeah, you've got a map and a Tron piece. You have to keep that.
Yep.
And, you have a star, so you effectively have a green source as well. Yeah, that seems fine.
Bottoming the scry.
Yeah. Had to think about it, so it wasn't like another Karn or something.
Sure. I might have two of the same Tron piece here. It's unfortunate. Tony will start out with an Oath.
Mm-hmm.
So we will search our deck for probably a basic. Yeah. Alright, let's get this record updated. Man, that Crater Hoof swing was real big.
Yeah, I knew he could get the Crater Hoof. I didn't realize it was...
Lethal.
Yeah, lethal until he actually did it.
We will reveal a Garrick.
Okay. So Tony with a kind of a slow draw here. There's no acceleration. If Brian has a second Tron piece, he will have turn 3. Tron.
The problem is he has a second... He has a duplicate Tron land.
Which means...
He needs to do some starring and stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he can't crack this, sphere. Without... right, in the map. Or he can't even crack it without playing a land also. So it's not like he can, blindly flip the last one.
Right, that's the problem.
So it looks like the best bet here is we're looking at for a turn 4 Ugin is what we're going for here.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have to draw one of the Tron pieces, but that's the sort of the goal.
Yeah, and Tony does have a Blood Moon in hand. Doesn't have any acceleration, but
I mean still pretty good.
Still
Gives him
pretty
a
good.
lot of time. Draws a Summoner's Pact. Here's a fetch land.
Do we play the Burning Tree? It looks like Tony.
Looks like the answer is yes.
This is just. I don't think you can play anything else off of this, but this is just applying a clock.
Yeah. Get the 2/2 down.
Presumably, Tony also has a red source in hand because this is super awkward if like.
Mm-hmm. Ryan will crack this for some stuff. Crack this for another one.
Alright, looks
Just
like
chaining the greens.
did draw the Ancient Stirring.
What a legend. Dude, that's how good Tron players do it. He needs to hit one Tron piece in here. Miss. 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 Miss? It's like 5 misses to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a straight whiff. He can get like a.
He can get cards, but like if he found the Tron piece here, he could play the Tron piece, crack the map.
Yeah, he had 8 live draws and found none of them.
Right. We'll get Pithing Needle. I do like this choice.
Yeah. Nino and Garrick is like not terrible. You do have another land, so you might as well crack it here. Yeah.
Play it.
Play it.
I would play a star. You got double Ugin in hand. I would play a star here, and then I would...
Well, you can't crack the map if you star.
That's fair.
Although, I don't know if you want to crack the map, because that cuts your outs to 4 instead
Right,
of 8.
you want to draw a Tron piece, and yeah, so Tony is going to be able to play a Blood Moon here, it looks like.
Yeah.
Which is not great for Ryan.
Well, Ryan almost certainly boarded in every Nature's Claim he has access to.
Sure, I just, I haven't seen one in his hand.
Right.
He will have access to green mana, though, through the star. He has 2 stars in his hand still.
Yep.
The moon! The bloody moon!
Mm-hmm.
In for 2, Ryan to 18.
Yeah, back when hate was real.
Yeah, back when hate was real and counter spells were good.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about... Oh, this is going to get a forest, though.
Why?
Well, why wouldn't you get a forest? Unless you're looking for a Tron piece and hoping we draw Stirrings.
No, you're right. It's a forest.
Yeah.
So Ryan now has to get to 8 lands. I don't know if he's going to have the time to do so.
No, Tony has a lot of mana sources. He can Garrick, and then we're talking like real acceleration.
Yeah, Garrick, Nissa. Tony does have a Nissa in hand as well.
Right. Doesn't have any enchantment, so it can't go crazy here.
Ryan is going to get to cycle like 3 different... He's going to cycle like twice, I think. Star. Crack. Float of mana. Top card. Ooh, not what you wanted.
So we have 2 dead cards in hand.
We have 3 dead cards. We have an Ugin, too.
Oh, yeah, Ugin and Ulamog.
2 Ugins.
Oh, there's 2 and a card now. Wow, our hand is
garbage.
Hot garbage.
We're 3 lands away from playing Karn. Have a Pithing Needle.
The thing is, like, Ryan obviously wants to needle the Garrick that he saw, but at the same time, there's so many diverse threats in this deck. Like,
Tony has a lot of things it could be.
Yeah. Alright, looks like Ryan's just going to run out the needle, almost certainly naming Garrick.
Yeah. Looking at his hand of 4 things that cost 7 or more. He just, like, he has to draw 3 lands. It's fine.
Yeah. Tony draws another Summoner's Pact. Which is
16.
Not exactly where you want to be with
Kitchen Finks. Tony to 17. Clock is real now.
Yeah, Tony is just trying to play the fastest clock.
Ryan draws another Ulamog.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony's next play is playing Nissa minus counters and hit you for 7.
Looks like that's not going to be it. We'll hit him for 5, put him to 11. Arbor
Oh, Utopia. Okay.
Seems great.
Okay, the development of mana makes sense. Also, Tony with double Summoner's Pact. This means that he now has access to 6 mana, and this is this now means we have Primeval Titan. Primeval Titan is going to get a Nykthos and like probably another
Nykthos
forest.
doesn't do anything, buddy.
Nykthos still counts as a land. Nykthos still is a mountain.
Sure.
But yeah, like we're at the point where like
this game's over.
This game is pretty much over.
I mean, if you play Nissa next turn minus, you hit for 3 plus 6 base. You hit for 9.
Yeah.
Just...
But like we kind of want to deploy the Summoner's Pacts in hand, right? Like.
Ooh. Oh, dude.
There's another Nissa. Like. At this point, like I don't know how you lose this game.
Yeah, you're 0%, I think. Gonna Summoner's Pact to make 6 mana.
Get a Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
Yep.
See,
gets a Nykthos.
But it doesn't do anything,
Dan. Well, the thing is, if the Blood Moon gets destroyed, all of a sudden you just instantly win the game.
Yeah, sure.
Because this is a Nykthos for like 8.
Yeah, I feel that. Draw a step from Ryan. Gonna show him the hand of the everything.
Oh wow! Just casually, here's like
4 massive
most
cards.
Expensive cards in my deck.
Yeah. So Dan's gonna try to find us another match. Green Nykthos taking it down, or I guess like Light Nea Nykthos taking it down, 2 games to 1 or 2 games to 0 over Green White Tron. Tron just, you know, sometimes you just have non-functional hands like that, and like Ryan, like this. So like Ryan was super in it until that Ancient Stirrings missed, and he wasn't able to get Tron online. Like, yeah, Tony had a Blood Moon, but you know, then maybe Ryan draws like a Nature's Claim, and suddenly we're off to the races. So unfortunate for Ryan, but you know that happens sometimes. Tony's deck firing pretty much on all cylinders, looking pretty good. Yeah, so rough match for Ryan. We see the Nature's Claims there. Should be going to a new match here once these guys pack up off the table. See what Dan can get for us. Yeah, so looks like they are abandoning with haste, which means that we are about to get a new... Don't take my playmat. There we go. About to get a new match. Alright. Overlay resetting. Right deck. Yeah, so they'll sign the slip there. Alright. Match?
Yeah.
Who are we watching?
We're going to be watching Michael Grossman play against Paul Spears.
Okay, which one's Michael Grossman?
Michael Grossman is the one who is going to be
that one?
On the black side.
This one, okay.
Yeah. Paul Spears is currently up a game here. This is game 2. It looks like Michael is on some variant of
Looks like
humans.
Saheeli.
And yeah, Ryan is on Saheeli.
Okay, humans with band colors.
Well, there's a Thalia's Lieutenant in hand,
All right.
or on the stack, or you know,
It has a counter on it. It looks like.
the Reflector Mage has a counter on it.
Yeah. So sorry, the Thalia. There. Okay. So deck name. This is like 4-color something.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I'm gonna say it's 4-color Saheeli because that's what I've seen all these cards in recently.
Sure, it's definitely Coco and.
Okay, maybe 4-color Cocoa is better. Okay.
But yeah, it should be an interesting match.
And what game is this?
This is game 2. Michael is down the game.
Okay.
Multiple Thalia's Lieutenant is like certainly how you get back in the game, though.
Yes, it is. That is indeed pretty good. You know.
Yeah, the second Thalia's Lieutenant will put 2 counters on the first one.
These creatures are just big. This Reflector Mage is a 4/5. Do you know life totals?
I believe Michael is at 16 and Paul is at 15.
Okay, now he's at 11. Huh. Yep.
But yeah, it looks like... Oh, okay, Michael did find the 4th land. Yeah, so he does have Coco in hand.
Oh, that's nice.
And like multiple Path to Exiles, I believe, as well.
Okay, yeah, so this is an Evo deck. So this is 4-color Evo. So, Paul has the ability to Evo into a 5-drop off of his Reflector Mage. I don't know what that would look like, though. I don't know, you know, you could toolbox for a Thrag Tusk.
Yeah, Eldritch Evolution is +2, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Get a Thrag. I don't know how good Thrag is. It's probably fine.
The Lights Out cards are all at 7,
I don't know. It's
right?
4-color Saheeli Evo.
Okay.
There's a Felidar Guardian.
Yeah, if the Oath of Nissa is in play, that's gonna be an
Ooh,
excellent target.
Sigarda would be a good one.
Sigarda is not bad.
Blink Wall of Omens.
Oh, Paul's,
Why would you not blink your Saheeli? Or not blink your Oath?
the Oath might not be in play.
It looks like it's in play.
It does look like it's in play. If it is in play,
That's a Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker.
yeah. I mean that does combo with Felidar Guardian.
Oh, and it is a 5-drop that you can Evo for.
It is true.
Sometimes you draw it though. Good thing he has triple red off these birds and stuff.
Oh, he did draw it. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. He'll have the win next turn, but Michael does have Path to Exile in hand.
Yeah. No, wait, how does he have the win next turn?
He can just play the Kiki Jiki.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he played the. Oh, yeah. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
Felidar Guardian's gonna eat a path.
Which
Find a
I
forest.
mean, like you're like thrilled to see that because, hey, the Felidar, you know, that already got value. We made a Druid card from this, so like we effectively have our 2 cards up.
Yes, but also your opponent has a 4/5 Reflector Mage.
Yeah, but like we have blockers for days, right?
Sure, that's fair. So we'll see what Michael wants to do here. I would imagine that this Banned Humans deck can sometimes just get like sort of ground out by the Saheeli deck.
Yeah, Michael's gonna snap off a Coco here, unless Paul has some
Spell Queller?
I guess Spell Queller is live.
Spell Queller would be nuts. Avacyn's Pilgrim is in there. At least one other non-land is in there. Let's see what we've got. Is that another Thalia? Oh,
If that's another
Thalia's
Lieutenant,
This
that's gonna
board
be
is
insane.
This board is going to be big. It's a
it's
Champion of the Parish. Still, though, it makes the Thalia's Lieutenants bigger. The Champion of the Parish becomes a 2/2 from the... Or no, they enter at the same time, so it doesn't see the...
No,
Oh,
so triggers on the stack. Paul's is a static caster, the Thalia's Lieutenant, so it doesn't become enormous.
Yeah, this other one, though, is going to become like a 5/5. Yes.
Can we pull up Thalia's Lieutenant?
It's just Champion of the Parish. It was a 3/3, it's a 5/5 now. Here's an attack. We're going to crack a fetch. This might be a Path to Exile, if I were a betting man. Yeah, we'll go to 8. Flip over a path. Target the Thalia's Lieutenant. Get that.
So if Paul has another Felidar Guardian, which presumably he does in his deck, he does just win next turn.
Does he have 9 mana?
He has exactly 9 mana.
All right, that's good. That's good. It looks like he's
also,
gonna take. Oh, he blocked with a Reflector Mage.
Right.
Okay.
Also, you don't need 9 mana. You only need 8.
Yeah, it's an Avacyn's Pilgrim CW8 Smith.
Oh, actually, you need less than 8 because you can Kiki Jiki a Birds of Paradise, use that to make mana, and then Eldritch Evolution that way to get, or Eldritch Evolution the wall to get Felidar.
Oh, right. I completely forgot he has an Evo. Yeah, so he just does win, right?
He does win, and Michael is tapped out here, so.
So, it's Evo for Felidar.
Well, play Kiki first. Kiki won the birds.
I mean,
Evo.
it doesn't matter.
He has no mana to just hardcast all of this.
Right. That's what I forgot he had an Evo in hand. This is like, you know, tutorable combo out of nowhere sort of.
The only I mean, you have both tutor spells in hand, right? The only way you screw this up is if you accidentally sack the Kiki Jiki to Evo.
Sure. I think that's like a Moto thing. I don't know if that happens in real life.
Yeah,
let's see if he the tricky thing is let's see if he sees the line. Okay, he sees the line. Great.
Yeah, he definitely sees the line here.
Kookity, jookity.
Oh, he even that's cute. So he's gonna shoot down the
Champion of the Parish.
The champion parish for BM.
Wow, that is pretty BM. No, he's evoing his copied. His copied is it Static Caster. And please just get Felidar Guardian.
Yeah, okay, so there's another one. And then
Infinite Cats.
Cat combo.
I love it.
There we go.
What a cool deck.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez.
This plays a lot like the Kiki Chord list, except
you have Evo.
You have Evo. You might also have Chord. You almost certainly do have Chord.
Yeah, I'd believe it. All right, Dan's going to hop out, see if we can get another match, as that one just ends in a flash of Kiki Jiki. All right, always good to see Kiki Jiki back as a Kiki Jeskai player myself. You know, shout out to the best Goblin Shaman around. Alright, so let's see if Dan can get another match for us. We do have about half the round left, so shouldn't be too long. But yeah, looking at the boards here, we see Spell Skites there, see Meddling Mage. You know, Meddling Mage can be good, but if you, like, named, for example, Felidar Guardian, like, you're probably naming Evo, but, like, if you didn't, and you know they have a Guardian in hand or something, this deck has ways to tutor cards out of their deck. So, look at this Saheeli Evo, or looking at this Evo deck list, there's a Keranos in the board, there's, like, Negates, there's Stuff, there's a Meddling Mage that was taken out. Match?
Yes, we do have a match.
What's our match, Dan?
We have a match we have not seen in a long time.
Who is it?
Well, a matchup we haven't seen in a long time. This is the old classic. This is Jund versus Jeskai.
Is it Vince?
It is Vincent. Yeah.
Game 3?
Game 3?
Oh man, what a time to be alive. 1-1 Jund Jeskai. Yep. So
some number of cards in play.
Tarmogoyf in play.
Tarmogoyf in play.
Hund. So we've got Vincent against Matt Collender. I wonder if Matt is at all related to Sean, who used to be a regular at the shop.
Now, if I'm not so this is game 3. So Matt was on the play here. Vincent has just drawn his card for turn 2.
Okay. And
one thing that you will notice is that Matt played a boltable Tarmogoyf.
Oh, that's not ideal.
Yeah, which is one of those cardinal sins. You should not do that.
You should not do that, Dan says. So Matt looks like he's at 18.
Yeah. Matt is at 18. Vincent is at 19. But Vincent does not have the bolt.
Or a Helix.
Or a Mana Leak.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have anything.
Vincent has actual nothing. Maybe Path to Exile.
I am told by chat that, oh, hey, Sean's in the chat. Matt is Sean's brother. Amazing.
Oh, hey, how about that?
Yes, yeah. Alright. Okay,
Sean,
so...
remind me again, did you move?
Yeah, he moved to KC.
Oh, okay. I recall this happening, and...
Clearly!
Well, I recall something happening, and I was like, haven't seen that guy in a while.
Nice, Dan. Oh, wait, I actually think that this is not a forest. Matt's at 15 then, because he would have...
No, he played that...
He played that tapped? Okay.
Yeah.
He fetched for a tap, sure. Gonna get another basic swamp here. So, Matt playing like he's worried about a blood moon, but... And I gotta get Vincent's name up here. But not... Vincent's deck, not one that can support it.
Vincent, I'm not sure what he kept, but doesn't look great. This is what... I mean, short of turn 1 Thoughtseize, this is exactly what you want to do on John, right?
Yeah, do you just plus this Lily? How can they win?
Yes. This also means that this is almost certainly not going to be a Baltimore Goyf next turn.
I didn't see what Matt discarded, but the Tarmogoyf is a 2/3, so...
Yeah. Alright, so Vincent's fallen to 17. And now Vincent's really got this work cut out for him. He's got a lot of things he has to deal with.
He's thinking about something.
He's probably... I mean, if there's anything, it's a Path to Exile, right? Like, that's the only card that makes sense.
He thought about it. Just path it, dude.
So the problem here is you've already taken 2 from the Goyf, right? So if you path it, that's like... It's a shitting path.
That's fine.
Because you took 2 for no reason.
One thing with Matt fetching for these basics is that he might be out of basics soon.
Yeah, that's
he
actually...
probably has at least 1 forest, but like after this, it's just like, how do you...
Right, this
like
is...
the paths become really good.
Yeah, when I play John, this is actually something I aggressively do. I aggressively fetch for non-basics.
Against a Jeskai deck?
Yeah, because...
You know you're going to want to get value off of all their paths.
Right, and these decks also often run Ghost Quarters. I mean, Vince is obviously on tech edges, but like...
it's a problem. If they start getting paths and you don't get lands, then like that feels bad.
Yeah, it's a... I mean, it's still 1-for-1 at worst, right? But when you get a Path to Exile, you prefer to like get a little bit more than that.
Maelstrom pulls the draw here for Matt.
Okay, but Matt's got a bunch of like lands and nonsense in his hand, so like probably happy to discard things. Vincent's got a full grip.
Vincent pitches a Mana Leak.
Must have just drawn the Mana Leak.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna see probably a land from Matt and then probably an attempt at a card.
Yeah.
2.
If it costs 2, I want to play Blood Crypt untapped.
Right, because of other Mana Leaks.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, we're gonna shut.
All right, so Matt acknowledges.
He
that
knows. He's always known. But he is gonna try to play an Olivia Voltaren.
Oh.
This will be met with a counterflux, as Vincent says. Whoosh.
So this looks like it might be a Redux list.
Quite possibly.
Because I haven't seen a counterflux in a very long time.
Vincent with a Tech Edge into a Johnny's pretty good. If you plus on the Blood Crypt, you take Matt off red, and you can use the Ajani to try to control the Liliana a little bit.
Yeah, I mean he's going to. He's going to fire off the Helix now.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing is, Matt has so much land that you're not cutting him off of anything.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I guess you can't cut him off of red, but
yeah,
like,
that's what I was saying.
There's nothing relevant.
Also, Matt discarding the Maelstrom Pulse looks less exciting now.
Yeah.
Draw stuff for Matt though.
Maybe Bolt? Immediately draw Bolt?
Immediately punished?
Yeah, like, Maelstrom Pulse is
Matt discarding a land, Vincent discarding Unclear.
3 mana. Is he going to play another Liliana?
Yeah, he's got a Fulminator. Okay.
Fulminator is great.
Yeah. We'll pressure the Ajani. Like, Vincent can plus, but, like, the Ajani's going to die.
Yeah.
Or he's going to have to 2-for-1 himself to, like, get the Fulminator, still lose a land. He'll plus, I believe, that targeted Overgrown Tomb, and now he's got a...
Yeah, well, one thing I would have liked to see Matt do is just tap all of his basics.
Sure.
These are the minor things. It's not going to matter, but this does mean, like, for example, he won't necessarily have double green.
Right. The problem here is, for Vince, is that this Liliana's out, like, is sort of racing the Ajani. Like, it goes to 4 now. Here's an attack. Vincent gonna bolt the Fulminator.
Feels terrible. Cause
feels awful because you're going to lose probably your white source for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this keeps your Ajani alive.
Yeah.
I lied.
Matt has the bolt. Oh, man. Does Vincent have the Mana Leak?
Mana
Leak doesn't even do anything.
Matt can pay.
Remana actually would have been good there.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, spell snare. That's rough.
All right.
So now Vincent on 3 lands, 4 lands now, draws a colonnade against this Lily.
Yeah,
This is just classic top deck Jund. Let's go.
So the fact that Matt is hesitating. Oh, okay. So yeah,
Okay.
just bolt you, put you to 5. So the thing here is also you can be greedy.
And go to 7 on the Lily.
Yeah.
I feel that. Vincent draws, says go.
So-
Matt draws, plays a land.
So one thing to be mindful here is that Vincent can draw a cryptic command.
Right, and bounce the Lily in response.
Right. So if you have garbage cards, for example, like
Yeah, I
Wood
wouldn't
Foothills,
play the Foothills.
There's an argument for like just discarding it.
Right. Vincent draws a Tech Edge. Matt's going to fetch.
Matt's gonna fetch on 14. Now, Vincent still needs a white source to turn on this colonnade.
Right.
Although
But if
he-
he draws, if Vincent draws fetch land, like, he's super in it.
Yeah. But it's okay. What's going to happen is Matt is going to draw a Call Guns command,
Uh-huh.
and he's going to get back to Fulminator and play it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Although, I think Fulminator's probably best. I think that there's, some allure to taking a Goyf, but Fulminator's almost
But we're going to
certainly
first
better.
draw the Call Guns command.
Sure. Well, there it goes. That's
Oh.
another land. Lily up to 4. Pass. Vincent, if he draws a fetch, is golden. And with the... Okay. Draws a rip? Fine.
Okay, sure.
Matt gonna fetch.
Alright, rip Snapcasters, but also rip Goyf.
Yeah, that's the thing. Rest in peace against Jund. Shutting down Scavenging Ooze, shutting down Goyf, shutting down Kolaghan's Command. Like, these are all very relevant, I think. And
Right.
I think that Rest in Peace, it's like questionable whether you bring it in or not, but I do like it against
So
him.
Matt just fetched. He may not have fetchable targets left.
Uh-oh.
Because he has 3 shocks, 3 basics in play. He may
Right.
not have a fetchable target.
He
left.
might have discarded... I think he discarded a shock, too.
Yeah, and if that's the case, yeah, he has no longer any fetchable targets.
He's counting. He's like, wait, where's my 7th land? And he's like, oh, it's in your graveyard. That's funny. I mean, so the thing is right now, though, is like, Matt is in a rougher spot than I think it looks. Just because Vincent drawing into fetch land will just kill the Lily.
No.
Well, I mean, sorry, but like, it will do, like, it pressures the Lily very hard.
Matt gives the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thumbs up of, oh, I forgot that I took all that nonsense out of there.
Yeah. So this is something worth like remembering because Jund, like you don't have that many
Right.
fetchable lands. You do have a lot of lands because he still has 4 Black Cleaves
Okay,
and 4
well,
Raging
that's a
Ravines.
pretty good draw.
The Ravine is going to be quite a good draw. Now Vincent has the problem if it attacks, he needs to he needs a land to activate Colonnade, but he also needs a way to deal with this Raging Ravine.
Right.
So, alright, Matt's gonna have Vincent discard the Path to Exile.
Rip.
And then hit for 4. Also worth threatening alt here. And this alt, like, I don't hate snapping off immediately because you can strand them with, like, Rest in Peace double...
Rest in Peace, Steam Vents, Tech Edge. Yeah.
Right, like, there's a lot of awkward piles you can make.
I mean, I think Vincent will probably take one with 3 lands, but, like, he's not... The problem is I don't think he can beat this Ravine.
I mean, another option is, like, you give him, like, this looks like a cryptic command. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kind of forced to do this.
Wait, why would you not do that on Matt's turn?
Because Matt's just gonna alt.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry, if it were on 5, I would wait for Matt to, then make him
Oh,
pitch
for
the
sure,
Lily,
for
but,
sure.
like... Also, wait, Vince has Tech Edge for the Ravine. Why are we afraid?
Oh, yeah, just not for this turn. Oh, yeah, Vince has double tech edge.
Yeah, it's okay.
But, you know...
Not right now. He's going to get hit for 5.
Yeah, when you tech edge, you're, one step further away from ever hitting with this colonnade.
Yeah, but at this point, we're fighting a desperate battle anyways.
If I'm Matt, like, there's an argument for, oh, I guess we can do both,
We can
right?
do both, dude. We have all the lands.
Also, if, I think that was a fetch or some nonsense. Yeah, so this is going to be attack for 5 now.
Vincent down to 8.
8. And this is the problem. If you leave out tech edge, you can't hit with colonnade, assuming you draw a land.
Yeah.
If you have a card in hand, like, there's nothing that's good. Like, what's your best
Yeah.
draw? Like a bolt?
Something. I think Bolt is actually your best draw here.
Or a Celestial Purge might be best.
He discards another Rest in Peace. Sure.
Yeah. there's just like there's nothing you can do. Vincent's gonna have to tech edge this. There's an argument that Vincent should have played the second Rest in Peace.
In case Matt finds an out for the first one.
In case Matt finds an abrupt
Wait,
decay.
those lands are tapped.
Oh well, I mean it's just not gonna matter, right? Like, but yes, Matt did untap his lands for no reason.
Vincent does find a Scalding Tarn. The question is, can he rip another land? That's the because then you're fine.
Yeah. So Matt. Okay, so Matt's posturing here makes me think he drew a Terminate.
Really?
Because it's obviously not a garbage card, right? Like if it was a garbage card, he'd just snap up ticket.
Right. Yeah, I feel that.
But if he did draw a Terminate,
then there's an
argument
option to not plus.
Yeah, I'd actually like not plussing here.
Sure.
Because Vincent has so many outs, any land is good except Colonnade.
Right. Oh, that'd be tragic.
Also, if Vincent draws like Burn, all of a sudden your Liliana's reset again and you're not doing anything. So if Matt drew Terminate, he drew a Fatal Push.
Even better.
So I pass here.
I agree. You can
also
uptick
the
after
thing.
you push.
Also the thing is.
Oh, we're going into the danger zone.
So the problem here also is the Lily alt's not lights out. Like it's not a good pile. Like,
yeah, I think Matt passed. Vincent gonna fall to 7.
Yeah. Next turn you have like many more options.
Yeah, Vincent has to draw untapped land here. Well, actually, no. He has 2 turns to draw untapped land because next turn you get to draw a card that's not Fatal Push and discard that, presumably.
Right.
That's some good grindy magic right here.
Yeah, this is like
Draw
the
stuff
old
for Vince.
Classico.
Gonna check that miracle trigger. Nothing. Stone cold nothing.
Does find the land.
The question is.
But the thing is, it's so clear, right?
It's
like,
so clear what Matt has. He has something. Yeah, it sucks, but like next turn you. That's not that good.
The K command's not backbreaking anymore.
The K command earlier would have been nuts.
Yeah.
He'll put it aside.
Yeah, if you're discarding the K command, it's just like
like what do you have?
It's clearly Terminate or like removal for Colonnade.
Yeah. Better than Terminate though, because Vincent can't draw Spell Snare. But I agree with you. The piles here aren't great.
So you can cut him off of white. I would probably put like both white sources and the Rest in Peace in the pile.
I think you'd snap take the other pile then.
Maybe I throw a Tech Edge in there as well.
Sure.
So you're left with.
He's gonna get Sacred Foundry instead.
Yeah. Actually no. Yeah. So now this is a little trickier, right? Like, but the pile's like you can't cut him off of anything. He's gonna have like enough lands in play to like continue playing the game. So did Vincent draw the spell? This spell. It looks like he did not draw this spell.
Yeah, I mean the Lily's ulting anyways. I think.
Possibly not.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to 7. Little bit of greed.
Yep.
Lavamancer, pretty bad.
Yeah. See, now we get everything. We get the cake. We get to eat it. We get the kitchen sink. We get the house. We made out in this divorce.
Okay. Whatever you say, Dan.
The Lavamancer, as a 1-mana 1/1, not the greatest, but Matt's gonna go ham here. Okay, so the piles here are kind of interesting. I would certainly try to cut them off of color. You can't cut them off of blue, and but like trying to cut them off of white is probably the most reasonable. And I would probably throw the Rest in Peace into that pile as well. Yeah, this pile looks good. This means he can either choose to keep his
Rest
3
in Peace,
colors,
yeah.
or you can choose to keep the Rest in Peace.
I mean, if I'm Vince, I think I take the left pile and hope I draw like red burn spell that's not Lightning Helix.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think I don't know how you win if you don't keep the left pile, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, that's. I think you're right, and he'll take that.
yeah, and Matt should
Slam.
probably remember attack for 1.
Vincent to 5.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think there's any other.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Now we need to draw like Electrolyze.
Yeah, I mean Electrolyze would be nuts.
Electrolyze, you killed a Bob and you killed the
he flips a
Liliana.
Ravine. Jesus, Vincent had to sack his Tech Edge too. This game is ending in a rapid fashion. That Bob is a great draw.
Yeah.
Oh God. Holy shit. Such a
I
good
think he drew
draw.
another. Oh, Scavengers? Yeah, this is
That's a
fine
2/2.
too.
I mean, it's just lethal next turn.
Nice negate.
Yeah, nice negate.
All right,
Nice deck as used. And it's super lethal next turn.
Yeah, there's like a million threats here. Matt's got to remember to attack, but yeah.
Aggressively jam those into the zone. Vincent to 2, Vincent to draw, Vincent to play with it and hard concede.
I don't think he has an out, all right? Like, is there a card?
There's a Raging Ravine. There's no way.
There's 4, or there's
All right.
there's 3 lethal
Look,
threats.
if Matt flips Emrakul the Promise End, he dies. So
It's true. Matt's not even gonna. Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah, with the
That's
rest
gonna do it.
with the rest,
Woo!
yeah, with the rest in peace and play, like there's not even like Snapcaster outs or anything.
No, there aren't. Wow, that is some grindy magic right there. I wouldn't even bother. All right, so we're gonna throw it back up to the booth. Should be, so that concludes one of the matches from the third round. The fourth round should be coming up. So 2 things. First off, this stream is sponsored by MTGCardMarket. We are located on the north side of Chicago, just west of the Belmont Red Line stop. So come on up on the red line or down on the red line, as it were. Hop off and come like 2 or 3 blocks west. There are events basically every day of the week: Monday Standard, Tuesday Draft, Wednesday Modern, Thursday Legacy, Friday F&M.
Yeah,
And assorted events on the weekends to check the Facebook page for.
right. The Legacy, the modern event also fairly popular. Tonight we got 36 players out, which
Is pretty. It's a lot.
Yeah, for a weeknight event, it's certainly not the shabbiest. But
Absolutely.
yeah, if anyone in chat has anything else they would like to see on camera in terms of either people or decks, we'll do our best to accommodate in the last round.
Yeah.
But yeah, MTGCardMarket will be vending at GP Vegas, so and
Both of us will be at GP
both
Vegas.
of us will be there. Yeah, so if you're in the area or if you're attending the event as well, stop by, say hello. And
this one.
all right.
Yeah. And also, so for things upcoming that are relevant to the stream, this is the second to last time for the foreseeable future that I will be casting here at MTGCardMarket. I am graduating from college and then moving back to Michigan for a job. So next week will be my last week as far as the stream is concerned, which is really unfortunate because I've really liked doing it. And I don't really know about the future of the stream after this. But
yeah, the current plan is to continue to stream.
Okay.
But we'll announce details with that kind of going forward. But yeah, it is somewhat of a sad time that this is the penultimate.
Yes, it is
cast.
the penultimate cast. We got to watch Vince lose, which we've done, a lot of weeks. He's in the back here right now. He just went past. I had to get him. But this is the sort of moving towards the end of my run as a commentator here, which I have thoroughly enjoyed for many reasons. And this is and next week will be a good time too. And we'll be at Vegas. Like Vegas is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for Vegas.
I don't know what I'm more excited for, the magic or the food. It's really I just want to I just want to hit up some buffets.
Look, if y'all Dan's ability to consume at buffets is unprecedented.
It's just straight value. It's just value.
You've been asked to stop before, right?
Not recently,
not recently, but you have?
Yes.
Okay. Where were you when you were asked to stop?
The very rundown Chinese buffet.
Classic.
We were going to leave anyway, so that was fine. But
yeah,
that's sometimes how it goes. But with that, somewhat of a sad announcement, but
rip.
Yeah.
I mean, but the stream will continue.
The stream will continue, and
I think that we will be taking a break the week of Vegas though, because everyone is flying out Wednesday.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. So after the next week's stream, there will at least be a week off. And while we wait for round 4, we might just cut to a short break here.
Sure. We'll go to like a 4-minute break.
Yeah, round 4 should be firing shortly. Stick with us.
Yeah, we will be right back. 4th round coming up.
I know the reason she's so far away.
But I don't fucking care at all.
Black Bear on tour.
Proud of you.
Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Proud of you. Spending it.
All right, and we are back just before the 4th round, starting here at MTGCardMarket Wednesday Night Modern. So, how many matches are still going on? I feel like there were like more than one that were like interns.
Yeah, just with a tournament this size, you're always gonna have a couple stragglers.
Sure, yeah. I guess the bigger it gets, the longer the rounds go.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Okay. Yeah. So that'll that'll be wrapping up shortly. I didn't see what the outstanding matches were, but it should be relatively brief amount of time before we get some good old pairings.
Yeah, absolutely.
So going into Vegas, right? Say I don't really know enough to speculate about Legacy, but let's speculate about Legacy anyways. What are you playing in Legacy if assuming you can get competent-ish with a deck, because that is a relevant question.
Well, I mean, Legacy is always rewarded the player who is most familiar with their own deck, right?
Sure.
So if you're able to, if you're a long-term pilot of something, there's a solid argument for just playing what you're good at.
Sure.
But with the demise of Miracle, certain decks obviously got better. Elves got a little bit better.
Storm got better.
Storm got better. Cards decks like that. Delver as good as it always is. Death and Taxes always still good. So there's just a lot of options because you can attack the format in so many different ways.
Sure. And then in Modern.
In Modern, well, I mean, you saw the results that we talked about. There's a bit of everything. There's literally everything. And because of that, I would tend to skew toward a deck that's more aggressive in its game plan.
Okay.
I mean, we saw in the games, tonight, where if you play, the Jeskai control list, a lot of times, you have all the answers in your deck. You can't guarantee you draw them in the right order.
Right.
And if you don't, all of a sudden you're just doing nothing.
Yeah, I know that you convinced me to play Dredge in Vegas, so that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean the thing is you have tech edges which are good against Tron, but sometimes you draw them again. You draw multiples against a deck where you want only bolts and stuff.
So the reactive decks aren't necessarily where you want to be.
Right, and it's not to say that they're unplayable, because certainly we saw
Tomatoes.
Lantern do well, which is the most reactive deck of all time. I guess there's a certain degree of proactiveness once you have Lantern Insight in play, but it's just flexible enough that it's hard to have answers for everything. So either you have a lot of disruption, or you go super aggressive for your game plan.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I know that you also convinced one of our friends to play Dredge, too. It seems like it's a thing.
I mean, it just seems very good. There aren't a whole lot of cards you lose to, and people, because the format's so wide, you can't,
Overboard for Dredge.
You can't, jam 4 resting pieces in your board, right?
Sure.
And there is an argument that, it might be doing a little worse because, a couple Dredge, it might be, a little worse on the weekend to play because a couple of Dredge lists did well, because
people will be more ready.
The Vizier decks are being popular, but the show has always been very resilient, even in the depths of depravity when it was the tier 1 deck that everyone was playing.
Still did well, even though people were actually bringing Dredge hate. Yeah.
Right. Now you might have to go back to playing the 4 Nature's Claims in your board, but that's fine.
Yeah. You just play more Abrupt Decays.
Yeah. And again, you see a lot of cards in the deck. It's fine just casting Tormenting Voice and just for cycle 3.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? If you need to find the Abrupt Decay for the Rest in Peace, it turns out that
you look at
Cathartic
cards,
Reunion, Cathartic Reunion, and Faithless Looting let you look at cards. Neonate does sort of, but your pitch, but if you pitch nonsense, it's fine.
Well, Faithless Looting and Neonate both put you down a card.
Yeah, but Cathartic Reunion is truly insane.
Yes.
Turn 1, Faithless Looting, discard double Dredger. Turn 2, play, Cathartic Reunion. You can pitch whatever.
Yep.
Pretty good.
There's a lot of interesting lines. Golgari Thug included as well. has a cute line if you can put Narc Amiibos on top of your deck, which
Right.
means that not only do you not, which means that you can kind of,
Guarantee your amalgams come in.
yeah, well, and you also can, if you have them in hand, how to discard them, you can like now put them into play.
Right, yeah, if you pitch your Narc Amiibos now, they're not just useless. They're really only good coming like off the top of the library into the yard, and now Thug enables that. I mean, this deck with Grave Troll was really, really dumb.
Yeah, well,
like, Wizards was like, oh, unban Grave Troll. Print a bunch of Dredge cards. Reban Grave Troll.
Well, and not just a bunch of dredge cards, like specifically Prize Amalgam.
Good Dredge cards.
Everything else is like, yeah, Haunted Dead's kind of whatever.
Neonate's pretty good.
Neonate's also kind of whatever. Even,
Neonate's pretty good.
Even not Tormenting Voice.
Cathartic.
Cathartic Reunion. It's kind of like, yeah, they're good enablers. But the true problem is like you added another recursive threat that's very difficult to do.
A recursive threat that also has 3 power.
3 power. Impossible to get rid of. You know, it can block. It's not like, you know.
It's not Bloodghast literally can't block.
Right.
To be fair, you don't have the inevitability of just casting like 8 power Grave Trolls anymore.
Right, like
Which was my least favorite way to lose to Dredge. It's like, oh, they're recursive threats. It's not really working so well. Or like, I have a cage, and then they're like, fine, like Dredge Grave Troll 1 billion times, cast
Here's
this
an
like
enormous dude, yeah.
5 mana 10/10 that regenerates for like free. It's pretty good.
You know what beats all of this? Yixlid Jailer.
Does Yixlid Jailer doesn't remove the Dredge ability though? It just
Oh yeah, it does. It says creatures have everything in the graveyard has no text. Yixlid Jailer's great.
Alrighty. Okay.
Yeah.
That's legit. Yeah, it's pretty good. We'll pull up Yixlid Jailer here. I mean,
This is
you have
a-
to be playing a special deck to be, like, what do you play? You played in Jund, I guess, but then you just play Cage, like, you played in Cord.
And this is specific. It's not just creatures in graveyard.
It's cards.
It's cards.
So Flashback, too.
Flashback is gone?
Yeah.
I mean, if you snapcast or something, you can give it flashback, and then it interacts favorably.
Yeah.
But, like, naturally, things having flashback.
You can't
doesn't happen.
conflagrate the Yixlid Jailer from the yard.
Correct. You can't.
Conflagrate is a truly insane Magic card, by the way. I have been, like, goldfishing a lot of Dredge.
It's
Like, how do you win if you're Affinity?
yeah,
or elves?
it's insane when the cards you discard don't matter.
Yeah. Or they're good that they're gone.
Or it's even like actively good that they're in the graveyard.
All right.
All right.
You literally just did that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, good one. All right, Dan is going to go get us a match. I am going to throw it down to the play overlay and do some resetting. I swear these animals keep bumping the camera. It's fine. All right. Zeros on the match record. Get the 4th round underway here. Yeah, so should be good here. 4th round coming right up. I think we're gonna get 2 2-1s. Deck and last one. Right deck. All right. And then 20 on the board. And match? Soon? Please? Oh, people are approaching the table. Who is this? This intrepid hero sitting on the left. It is. And sitting on the right as well. All right, we're going to have Greg Pino on the left here. Don't know what he's playing, but it's guaranteed to be spicy. So, Greg Pino on the left and Paul Green on the right.
Yes, sir.
Do we know what they're playing?
Yes.
What are they playing?
Paul Green is playing Devoted Druid,
Okay.
and Greg Pino is playing Living End.
Seems great. You probably have a pretty good Devoted Druid matchup, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so we'll put a living end on the left. You know, just like against decks that play lots of creatures, you just like living end them. Or Vizier combo. Ah, yes, Dixon Crow in the chat. Devoted Druid represent. Perhaps, hopefully it represents in a way that doesn't. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Let's see here. Put Living End. What a card. You think you think Greg has any Carry Zev's expertise?
Probably not.
If there were someone to have it though, I'd put Greg on it.
Yeah, because it's so narrow, right? Because Carry 7 is
Yeah.
garbage unless you have Living End in hand. But you have 3, so like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Looks like either an 8 or a 10 there. Looks like Paul rolls lower. Greg will start. Living End. Yeah, this should be interesting for those. I mean, I don't know how many people are not familiar with this interaction, but basically you cast Violent Outburst, then you Cascade, then you get a Living End.
Mm-hmm. Or
and then you get all your cyclers back.
the sorcery speed one.
Demonic Dread.
Demonic Dread, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Greg's gonna lead off on a Blooming Marsh. And Paul's gonna start with the birds.
Cycle Carabin.
The Cycle Carabin, the jig is up.
Yeah, you know, as soon as this happens that...
Oh, yeah, Greg does have 1 Living End in hand. No, 2 Living Ends in hand.
Carries Zev's expertise when? He's gonna cycle a Horror of the Broken Lands, draw a card.
Draws a Violent Outburst.
Not the worst. Plays
No.
a land and passes. Draw a step for Paul. This Vizier deck can go off on turn 3, so best be ready. The question is, does Greg have another land? And can he cascade into these 2 cards?
Right, and can he avoid drawing the 3rd whammy in his deck?
Dude, it's a real bad whammy.
It's real bad.
It's quite atrocious. Yeah, I don't know. He did keep a 2 Living End hand. Maybe it was insane. I'm confused as well, though. I agree. 3 mana. Knight. Oh, so this is Vizier with Knight.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
We did see lists like this from this weekend.
Right, I mean, because you can just play the value plan as well.
Yeah. And it might be straight green-white, given the fetch for basic planes there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basic plan's never
Ooh,
something...
there goes a Caradon. 3rd land?
Draws a Street Wraith?
Cycle it. Go to 15. If he has the another land, oh, he does. He draws it. He rips it off the top. Oh, he had a 3rd land already. Violent Outburst.
I was gonna go ahead and do that like immediately.
Oh, well, that Living End was only 3 from the top.
Yeah.
This is bringing back an absurd amount of power.
Oh yes, for sure.
Like Horror of the Broken Lands, Street Wraith, Caradon, all pretty big. 6, 4, 3, 4, 17 power.
21.
Why?
They all have +1/+0 from Violent Outburst.
Okay, yeah, but they can't attack.
Yes, but
Okay,
yeah.
Paul's gonna scoop it up. Woo!
Alright.
That was a real fast game 1.
Greg not gonna give Paul, maybe he has a Bajuka Bog in his deck.
Sure.
Right?
Oh,
Like,
you could definitely. I think actually you almost certainly have a Bajuka Bog.
in the main it's pretty loose.
In the side, I think is fine. Yeah, I haven't seen one in the main, but I could see one in the side.
Right.
Jeez, that was just like kill you. Yeah. So actually, I like Greg going for it there because it does. If he has to wait for Paul to tap the Knight in order to go off at any other point once it becomes summoning unsick.
right.
Right? Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if Greg goes for the Violent Outburst there, like what does Paul do? Like
yeah.
you have I mean, even if you have like monopath exiles in hand, like
You're still only pathing 2.
yeah, like
it's not good enough.
it is not good.
We didn't get to see it, but Horror of the Broken Lands can get out of control once it's on the battlefield.
That it can. Importantly, it cycles for 1, which is what you want in this deck.
Yeah.
But because it also grows bigger when you cycle, this can be a one-man army.
Yeah, this thing can, if you just have one of these and you cycle 2 cards already, it's an 8/6.
Yes.
It's just, it chunks for huge damage.
Yeah, it's also really messed up and limited. It makes blocking very difficult.
Yeah, dude. Also, it's like actually like a, it's a really creepy looking card. Like I feel like they did a really good job sort of capturing the feel of like a terrifying creature that lives out in that feeds on dry bones in the sand and desperate pleas in the wind. Yes.
Awfully specific.
That's the flavor text.
Oh. Yes.
Dan, I am not gonna just make that up on the spot.
That entirely sounds like something you would make up on the spot.
Maybe I should just write for WotC, dude.
I mean, they do have some bad flavor text.
It's true. Yeah. If there's one thing a Magic player hates, it's bad flavor text. Especially the text on Ancient Grudge. The symbol of bad flavor text for all Magic players. Oh, man. Ancient Grudge, definitely the worst flavor text in the game ever, probably. Unless, there's probably some, goofy ones. But, Ancient Grudge means, that somehow got through, an editor. You feel me?
Probably several layers of editors, right?
Right? Street Wraith gonna cycle here for Greg to start.
Alright.
And 16.
16.
Already accumulating a graveyard.
See, in game 1, if they start with Cycle Street Wraith in the Overground, you don't know if that's...
They're Death Shadow.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whoa, this is Naya Vizier combo? We're in it.
I'm sorry, what was the 3-card shard again?
Naya? Naya? Which one is it?
It's Naya. It's Naya, not
This is gonna cycle Horror of the Broken Lands. This might not be enough though, because there is a dude in play.
Yeah,
that will go infinite next turn.
So the one problem with living in is you have no removal. So
it's fine. Just have a Simian Spirit Guide right now. Oh, I lied. I was kidding.
Wow.
Oh, that's an Archfiend of Ilfnir. Blood Moon? Ooh, it's lit. There we go. That one.
Paul pointing out which one it is. So hopefully, for Greg's sake, this is enough to ride out the win, right? It's 2 medium creatures.
It's Horror of the Broken Lands. It's pretty big.
It is 7 power in play on turn 2.
Yeah.
In addition to removal.
Wait, what happened to Paul's dude? Why is it still there? Wait, why is Paul's dude still there? Why is Paul's dude still there? Does it still has summoning sickness on Greg's turn, right?
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna go.
Oh wait. You can activate put the -1 on at any time.
And just killed it, yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright.
Whoa, what a time. Alright, that's gonna do it. Game 2's over in a flash. Yeah, you're right. That's not a summoning sickness ability. If we look at Devoted Druid, I thought Greg was being smart by doing it right then too, but I don't think there's any good time to do it. You could do it when Vizier is
you do it in response to Vizier.
But then everything just resolves. You still sack the Devoted Druid.
Yes, you still sack the Devoted Druid.
And then
he gets the Vizier.
And then he still wins.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't think there's any timing, right?
No, there's no timing window.
Yeah, you can not die that turn if you respond to Vizier.
Oh, because you make it summoning sick.
You make it summoning sick if you have a million dudes in play, you can kill him. But that's the only win. There's no way to protect yourself from the combo.
Spooky.
Well, that was
That game was fast. The game ended on turn 3.
Yeah.
Paul showing the cord. Just whoo.
Yeah, you core for Dustwatch, play it, find your handback walker, shoot you.
Walking Ballista.
Yes. Handback walker is slightly worse here.
Only slightly.
Yes.
It's really good against Living End. You just sack your Hangerback Walker and get 1 billion Thopters.
Sure.
Wait. Is it sacrifice all the creatures that are in play? Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Living End, good card. Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah. Paul has an Emrakul in his deck.
Oh, sure. Huh. So if you have a Sigarda in play, they get all of their stuff back, but you don't lose yours.
Yes, Dan.
I guess you also get your stuff back too, but you don't sacrifice your board. Sigarda.
Sigarda's a good card.
These are the cards that are always fun.
Sigarda's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
What a dope ability. And just like what a cool creature generally.
Oh, for sure.
It's literally have Wrath the creature.
All right, so we've seen
Dude, play a Sigarda deck with Boros Charm in it, and then they can't beat you. Oh, you gotta like Descend Upon the Sinful or something.
Yes.
Or Hallowed Burial. All right, so
Hallowed Burial did see Modern play.
when?
Shahar Shanhar had it in his World's winning deck.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a way to kill. I'm not sure exactly why, but I'm almost certain about it. Either Shahar or Ben Stark had it.
Okay.
But it did see, it was in the World's list at top 4
Sure.
from like 5 years ago.
All right, so looks like Paul's gonna mulligan, Greg's gonna keep here. You know, I think for Paul, who's trying to be as fast as possible, he does need like a critical mass of pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does Greg. So
Yeah, so Greg kind of has two benchmarks, right?
yeah,
Either he goes for a super early living end
right,
and tries to put you on a 2-turn clock, or he goes for the 1-turn clock.
right. Paul with basic force and a birds. Good start for him. We'll see what Greg cycles here. That's a Caradon.
All right,
That's a 6/4.
that's a lot of power. There's a Simian Spirit, guys, so we can't cheat on mana now.
Says go. Untap and a draw. If Greg like cycles 2 creatures here and then like living ends, you're just like.
He won't be able to live in it. He doesn't have a green source for Violet Outburst.
He could Demonic Dread next turn.
Yes.
Sorry,
yes.
he can't do it here, but I'm
can't
saying
do
he
it, yeah.
cycles 2 creatures here, untaps Demonic Dreads. Paul's just going to play a tapped Stomping Ground and pass, though. Greg's going to cycle a Horror of the Broken Lands, draw a card. Maybe a Carabid getting cycled next? Yep, Carabid will bite it. Untap draw. Might have drawn a Violent Outburst there, I think. Okay, has a Fulminator Mage in hand.
So does he have the 3rd relevant color?
I don't think... Oh, he has a Demonic Dread.
Oh, okay.
That's a Demonic Dread, yeah.
So he could go for it now, or he could wait up. What are the 2 cards at the very end?
Which side? Left side or
Left side.
Fulminators?
Oh, okay. So, like, you really want to, like, get the Fulminators in play, right? But
Yeah, but also...
this is just a lot of power, and
It's got to make him do it every time. Ooh, Shriek. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Do.
These are pretty deep. There we go.
Yeah. Well, better there than close to the top, right?
Uh-huh. Well, this means it's much more likely that you draw a living end, right?
Yeah.
But this is so this is a 2-turn clock here.
Yeah, 6/4/4.
Yeah, possibly a 1-turn
Turn
clock.
clock with the Caradon, or not, with the Horror being enormous.
Yeah, you would need to do some number of Street Wraith cycling because you just don't have enough mana.
Sure. Paul's gonna fetch, though.
But like if Paul plays a Devoted Druid here, he could just win on the next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you are in a position where you really hope you have the ability to cycle the Horror to the point where it's big enough to... So he plays the Vizier, which is not a win next turn.
Vizier does nothing.
Cycle trigger. Draw. More Demonic Dreads.
Which actually could be relevant here if Paul, like...
Oh, is Cascade a May cast, or you have to cast?
Cascade's a May. Mm-hmm. Pino's gonna cycle a Fairy Macabre to get an extra 2 damage.
Okay, so it's 8 plus 6 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
4, 18, so Paul to 1?
Yeah, Paul's drawing very thin here. He has a Coco. If he has a 4th land,
He can get into blockers?
Yep. So if he Cocos into like an Ewit, but I think Greg can just demonic dread this Vizier.
He's not going to do it, though. He's just going to swing.
Uh-huh.
He looks at the demonic dreads like, huh, maybe I should have done that. Oh, this could be bad for... Well, no, because Paul has to block all 3 creatures.
Yes.
So, like, no matter what, he's just triple abyssing.
Yeah, because even like a card like Fiend Hunter is not good, right? Well, actually, no. If he hits a Fiend Hunter, he can exile 1, block another, and like if he hits Fiend Hunter Devoted Druid.
Yeah, but he has to triple block here, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Paul had to hit a Fiend Hunter.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure. It's great. You know, your opponent just lost 3 of their creatures in combat.
yeah, and Greg's probably gonna jam a Fulminator here.
Sure. Yeah, just, you know, get the... So this is also, you know, importantly, Greg is setting up for, like, should something horrible happen, which I don't know what Paul could do when he untaps, his Another Living End is very good.
No, Another Living End's very bad.
Oh, I guess everything's in Paul's graveyard. You're right,
Yeah.
you're right.
But yeah, so Paul
That's going to do it.
Paul had to hit a Fiend Hunter to live.
Right, and then he had to have another one of the combo pieces in hand.
Well, he had to hit Devoted Druid.
Fiend Hunter?
Fiend Hunter.
Because then and then have a Vizier in hand.
And have a Vizier.
Yeah, so that wasn't, you know, Coco just not enough there, and wow, Living End looking really good.
Really good. Yeah, we finished very quickly. But yeah, both decks, you know, kind of demonstrating why they're
Why they are power.
yeah.
Paul showing us the Eidolon of Rhetoric, pretty good against Living End.
Yes, Eidolon of Rhetoric is hilarious.
It's like nice Cascade spell.
Yes.
Too bad you can't cast that. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, but, you know, Horror of the Broken Lands looking really good there as well.
Yeah,
definitely a very powerful inclusion.
Yeah, the Ceradon, again, still a fine card. There are many Ceradons.
Why?
Yes, you know, why not Ceradon?
Dude, look at this thing's head.
Yes.
It's like a boat. It's like... Oh, well...
Yes.
Whether we like it or not, we are getting another match. We should go find out life totals and game score.
Yep.
Dan is going to do so. We are going to watch some more Magic. So don't know who this is. We shall see. Yeah, don't know either player's name, but it looks like they're shuffling, so it's gonna start a new game here. That's convenient. Oh wait, is that? I think that's might be Matt Colander. No. Yes. Okay. Wait, this is the correct pairing sheet. Okay. So this is. Yeah, this is Matt Colander on the right and Paul Spears on the left. So Paul is playing the Ameria deck, or not the Ameria, the Saheeli Evo deck, and Saheeli Evo, and Matt is playing Hund.
Yes, this is our
Is
one
this
of our
game 2, game 3?
This is game 2. Matt is up a game.
Okay.
Matt's gonna start with a turn 1 Leyline, or turn 0 Leyline Void.
Okay.
So this is gonna no more, you know, Eternal Witness shenanigans.
Voice, Sun Titan.
Yep.
Gonna also start off with an Inquisition, pretty good.
Alright, Inquisition can either get the Saheeli or the Kitchen Feast.
Yeah.
Gonna take the Saheeli.
Not interested in dealing with the Planeswalker.
Ooh, Paul. Well, I guess the Sun Titan makes a little more sense if you're going up to Eldritch Evolution.
Yeah.
Also, a card that's significantly worse against Leyline of the Void.
Yeah, Sun Titan's just a 6-mana 6/6.
Vigilance.
Oh, good point, Dan.
Yes.
Never thought about it like that. This will be a Goyf. It's a 1/2. Notably not getting the bonuses from the Planeswalker and the land that Paul has now cracked.
Yeah.
Paul reconsidering his fetch land.
Mm-hmm.
And then unreconsiders it.
But yeah, depending on what Matt can follow this up with, this is, kind of the ideal start for Junt.
Yes, he does need to put some more cards in his graveyard to grow the Goyf, but presumably that'll happen.
Yeah, not thrilled about having a 1/2 Goyf, but yeah, Paul's probably just going to run out of Kitchen Finks here.
Yeah, seems fine. Ooh, Keranos in hand? Keranos in hand.
Keranos is very good. So yeah. And yeah, Paul just has like mono big threats and lands in hand, so if Matt can't like increase his clock.
This Kitchen Finks like blocks the Goyf now.
Yeah. It is, however, just a 3/2 getting 2 life, which is a little worse.
Oh, yeah, so actually Matt can, I like fetch here and then fatal push it. Wait, before you do that, fetch. Oh, we're going to Thoughtseize. Okay, so Keranos almost certainly going to be the take, right?
Yeah, Keranos is very scary.
You can't beat Keranos. You can beat a Sun Titan. Right? Like, I feel like that's
when you played against Jeskai Control, like, Keranos was always the hardest card to deal with. This Felidar currently also isn't doing anything.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, fetch fatal push, right?
Yeah, fetch fatal push, you get in for 3.
Plus, he doesn't get the persist, so... We'll see what he gets here, but he's going to be at 15, maybe 13. But yeah, this is, I mean... The Felidar Guardian, once the Tarmogoyf becomes a 4/5, just looks sort of nonsensical.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we'll get it tapped. This is good. Get a tapped land, conserve the life total a little bit, and then, it Revolt-enabled Fatal Push the Finks. Finks much worse against Leyline of the Void, holy moly.
Yeah. So one interesting interaction with Fatal Push and fetch lands is that if you fetch, you can push a Thought-Knot Seer.
Yeah.
And then draw first and then figure out what you want to fetch.
Interesting.
This is an interesting interaction for a not relevant match here.
I'm always interested in that stuff. Good. So the question is, does Paul, does he try to draw something that he can, can he take a couple hits from the Goyf? Can he, try to get value with the Guardian? Or you think you just run it out there as a big wall?
I think you have to get value from the Guardian. You're literally not doing anything if you bounce a land, right? And it's not like... Because there's so many cards in your deck that you can get value from, right? You still have your Oath and Nissus, presumably. Wall of Omens is fine. Like, there's just a lot of things you can get value from.
So basically what you're saying is don't just run this Guardian out.
Right.
Okay.
I say as he immediately runs the Guardian out.
I mean, it is a blocker. The Goyf doesn't get through.
Oh, excuse me. Well, yeah, then I much like.
That's what I said.
Then I like it a lot more.
That's what I said, man.
I thought this Gorth was already a 4/5.
No, there's no creature in Matt's yard.
Right.
Has a Raging Ravine, so that'll. I mean, okay, so clearly did Paul block?
Yeah,
I don't think he blocked.
Paul had to probably verbally confirm he blocked.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, because it didn't adjust life totals. Sure.
Yeah. All right,
Land
so
here?
we're pretty close to this.
The Ravine's online now.
The Ravine is online, but the Sun Titan will block it quite nicely.
4, 5. Yeah, you're right. No, Matt will have to draw a Terminate or something. Really, it's unfortunate. This Goyf would be enormous, but I think Matt's more interested in Paul not being able to use the graveyard.
Yeah,
I think
as it turns out, it wasn't relevant in this game, but that would currently be a 6/7 Goyf.
Yeah, because it'd have Planeswalker
and Enchantment.
Oh, from Keranos,
Yeah, it'd be a 6/7 Goyf, and this would be not a very close game.
Sure. Animate. And I think you just swing both, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's never great.
Matt does. So one thing that this does mean, though, is that Matt could always Paul could always path his Felidar to guarantee a 6 land. It's just that's not exciting with the Leyline with the Void out.
Sure.
But Paul's gonna go ahead and fetch here.
Yep. Probably just gonna get to tapped land. So Matt does need to draw action though. He's got a Goyf that isn't getting through. and now there's going to be just a 6/6 big old vigilance dude. So he, like, you draw Terminate, you're in a fine place. You draw Liliana, it's not great.
Oh yeah, the problem with Liliana is just,
Yeah.
I mean, like, doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's your opponent's hellbent and stuff. I agree. Okay, so cut the decks. Over to Paul. Draw this. Doesn't seem like it was a land, although I imagine he can play everything in the deck, so I don't know what it was.
No,
he says go, though.
Cards like Kiki Jiki are unplayable.
Yeah, Kiki Jiki's not great here.
But, yeah, I'd assume he'd play pretty much almost anything.
Attack with the Goyf. Play a Blackleaf Cliffs. Drawing a lot of lands this game.
Yeah. Paul might have kept removal. This Oath of Nissa, though,
yeah.
it's a pretty good draw.
Path can't take. Take the birds or the fetch?
I take the fetch.
Yeah, you don't. The birds are not. You don't really need the fixing.
Yeah.
Unless you have a Kiki Jiki.
Well,
the fetch can do the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. We'll tap 3 mana. Tracker.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So this is a card that makes sense for him to
this
keep
card is good. This card is great. Yeah, you definitely hold Tracker until you have a land.
Yeah.
Matt needs to draw, like, Lightning Bolt ASAP. I think he drew a Lily. Yeah. So, Lily minus not great here, but still going to have to do it, I think.
Yeah, clearly, like, the rest of your hand is pretty rubbish. You also, plussing is not terrible. Plussing gets rid of the Sun Titan.
Plus is good. I like plus.
Yeah, plus gets rid of the Sun Titan, and...
I mean, but then the Tracker just gets big enough to kill your Goyf.
Yeah, but that's, sometimes you just have to deal with that.
Sure.
Like, I don't know, the Sun Titan's going to be very hard to deal with. Minusing doesn't do anything. Minusing kills a Felidar. Which, like, who cares?
Mm-hmm. We'll crack fetch land, go to 14.
Yeah, if Matt has removal, he'll want to fire it off. Now,
he doesn't.
Doesn't
though.
look like he does.
His hand is 2 lands, I believe.
Yeah. So this Tireless Tracker is going to get pretty out of hand here.
Yeah. Oh no. So Paul's going to actually draw a card in response to the Lily Plus to try to save the Sun Titan.
Oh, right. This is an interaction that completely forgot was.
Yeah, just do it at instant speed. So, Lily ability on the stack.
Yeah, this
here.
is very heads up from Paul.
Yeah, and he just pitches a land to this, right? What?
Oh, he pitches a Sun Titan.
Oh,
He must
well,
have
the land is 2 cards, right? Tracker.
Yeah, must have drawn like a.
He drew a fetch land.
Oh, shit.
Second Tracker.
Wow. This is going to get so out of hand.
This is like infinite cards.
This is actual infinite. If he fetches here, he has 5 clues.
Yeah, dude. Then he can play mechanized production on a clue and win the game.
Wow. Talk about the value train.
Dude, we're riding it. Holy moly. This is nuts. He's just going to draw cards like forever. He'll go to 11 now. But yeah, this is like, so he has no cards in hand. Matt has 1 card in hand.
Right.
It's potentially plus, he's up. He has like virtual 4 cards up on Matt.
No, 6. He's already cracked the clue.
Sorry, I mean like currently, not regarding previous stuff.
Oh, right. So one thing that Paul can do is just attack the Tireless into the Liliana.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's going to go ahead and do that again. It draws a Revelark and a Birds of Paradise.
Revelark, not great.
Revelark's still a 4/3 flyer, though.
True. This is an attack with a really large Tireless Tracker.
It's going to chump block.
Okay, so here's a question.
Yeah.
When... Oh, okay, so there's a die on the second tracker. I just didn't see the die before. Well, this is, somewhat non-ideal for... We're going to minus here to kill this Felidar Guardian. Let's see, another land, and Matt says go. This is just not looking good at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you can't come back from this.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, the trackers also are huge.
The trackers are enormous. Like, how...
Like...
Even if Matt drew Maelstrom Pulse there,
yeah,
probably wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Blink my Oath of Nissa.
Sure.
Fetch land? No fetch land. Sad life.
Finds another Felidar. Like, I don't even know if I play the Fellow Guardian. I just attack with, like, Tireless Trackers and Crack Clues.
He only has 1 clue left. Oh, I lied. That was 3. Never mind. We're in there.
Yeah, he had 5 clues at one point.
That's true. He's down to 2 clues left. So he's got 6 power. No, 7 power plus 6 power is 13. Lily's going to go down. Presumably he's going to get hit for 7. Put him to 7 here.
Yeah, I don't.
Jesus.
At this point, I don't know. Yeah, like Matt's
Just
like,
scoop
Matt's
that nonsense up. Whoa.
Yeah,
that is the value train.
Yeah, one thing Matt did, I don't think you can block with the Goyf there.
Yeah.
Because your only out is you have to draw Maelstrom Pulse.
Right.
And the Liliana's gonna die either way.
Sure.
You know, in fact, if the Liliana dies, your Goyf gets a little bit bigger, but you have to draw a Maelstrom Pulse at that point.
TSQ11, there we don't allow, like, Moobot doesn't allow links, and also I clicked your link and it took me to nowhere. Like, if you make an Imgur link, and whisper us, we can maybe post it, but yeah. Oh, okay. I like Dan will confirm. I click this link and it takes me to just like blank Tiny Pick page.
Yes.
Rip.
Also, Tiny Pick. What is this? 2011.
Well, TSQ11, as you know, as a dedicated commentator, I don't check my phone during the broadcast. I'm sure it was a lovely picture. All right, so sideboarding here. If you're Matt, you're just like I don't know. What do you just bring in like grindy cards? Because the thing is, I feel like Jund really has to be the aggressor in this matchup because Saheeli has the inevitability.
Yes, because you have haymakers like Revelark and Quarter Calling. It would get to the point where like how do you beat a Revelark ever?
Revelark's really good.
Yeah, like Matt very much has to be the aggressor there, and unfortunately, just kind of flooded out a little bit. We saw him die with 6-7 lands in play and more in hand, and no Tireless Tracker in play, so never got value off of that.
Yes.
But that's sometimes how it goes, right?
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Cool. So we're gonna be shuffling up here for game 3, and after our first round of unfair Magic, this seems incredibly fair.
Yeah, this seems like super duper fair Magic. Until you have 2 Tireless Trackers in play and are just cracking fetch lands every turn.
Yes.
Dude, so honestly, like one of the things that you sort of, or that I've noticed that people do and that I sort of started doing when I noticed people who are better than me at Magic doing, was when you're counting cards on like how many extra cards someone has drawn. And like you get to a point against like, when you're on Jund, you're like, this person has, we're even on cards, but like my threats are better, or I've like used Lily and gotten some advantage by killing his dude and still having a thing, all this stuff. But there's like a point at which it just like stops mattering, right? Because it's just like, oh my, like he's 6+ cards up. Like the game's probably over.
I have swung games like against that though.
Sure, I mean but you have to draw like actual Maelstrom Pulse.
You have to draw very well. Actually, the games where I've been like 6+ cards down, or I've been against like just got control.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like they rev into like
lands
into nonsense,
yeah.
and it's just like.
So the thing is, right, is like. This is a matchup where, like, it's more likely that the quality of the cards that each player has are at least somewhat similar. Whereas in a Jeskai control deck, I don't think that it's fair to compare, like, Electrolyze quality cards to, like, Goyf quality cards, right?
Sure.
Like, that's, so I think that, like, a Jeskai deck being up on cards is, like, definitely not as bad as 4-color Saheeli Evo being up on cards.
Right. Well, one thing this deck has is, the Saheeli deck is just all value cards, right? Everything draws you another card. Wall of Omens actually, can not only be blink, but can be sacked as well. So,
sure.
It's, you have to apply a fairly quick clock and slog through a lot of this.
Right.
Having the 3/4 Goyf instead of 4/5 or larger is just backbreaking. The funny part is Matt lost that game because he had a Leyline Devoid in play.
Yeah, his Goyf wasn't big enough.
Right. As funny as that may sound, Matt's got a push for this.
For the Hierarch?
Yeah.
Rip. I mean, very good counter your turn 1 play by just murdering it with my 1-mana removal spell. Alright, so thinking about what you're going to do on your second turn here, we'll see a fetch land.
Okay.
And there is a Thoughtseize. We will Thoughtseize. Woo. Oath of Nissa, double Saheeli, Eternal Witness, Wall of Omens. I feel like you take the Ewit here. You can't take a Saheeli, I think.
You can't take the Saheeli. You certainly can't take the Wall of Omens. And then it's Oath. Yeah, I think here you take the
Ewit, not close.
Yeah, it's just because Paul has 2 redraws, so he's going to hit his 3rd land anyways. And yeah, this is a hand that you always hate to see in Jund because it's redundant and it's all like reasonable.
Yeah.
There's no like, you know, haymaker here that you have to take. I think the reason I advocate for taking the Eternal Witness is because,
well, actually, if you take the Oath, you might be able to mana screw him.
It's true. Paul will have 3 draw steps at any land, though.
That's fair.
Actually, it can't be any land, right? It has to be a green or blue source.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we're getting close to the point where that's pretty much any land.
Yeah. TSQ11 says in the chat, one time Dan ultimated Lily against me and was up 7 cards and lost.
It's true.
What was the last card, Dan?
It was an Elspeth.
Nah.
It was very hard to deal with.
Ooh, another Wall of Omens.
Okay. Alright, it looks like Matt took the...
He took the Oath.
Oath.
And I think that Paul immediately drew the land.
Yeah. Well, it's just Paul's going to get a lot of draw steps at this.
Yeah, that's fair. He's going to catch... Oh, Matt maybe not fetching here.
Yeah, Matt might want to try to hit a land drop. Or might want to turn on Fatal Push.
Untap draw.
Yeah. Matt might be trying to hit a land.
He does hit a land.
It does hit a land.
Doesn't have black, though.
Oh, I think Matt has a Fatal Push in hand and more lands. Ooh, this is rough.
This is not good. Paul's going to fetch. Probably going to go to 14, but it's not going to matter because he's going to play a Saheeli.
Yeah. Yeah, with double Saheeli, you can even take the super aggressive line and flicker the Wall of Omens. Yeah, so Paul's going to play Saheeli. Is he going to go up or down? He looks like he's going to go up.
Ping you.
Pin you, scry 1.
Alright, ping you, scry 1 is fine.
It looks like he kept on top, too, which...
that's never good.
It's never good.
Raging Ravine tapped, you can start slogging through the walls.
It just Matt has no action, and you
To be fair, he can Fatal Push a Guardian. Speaking of...
he just immediately draw it.
Immediately drew it. Oh, he's just going to minus on his wall. That's sick.
Yeah, well, it's free, right?
Yeah, it is free.
It's free.
Fetch. Matt looks like a genius for keeping this fetch, by the way.
I mean, so the problem is, like, yes, you don't immediately lose here, but like, you don't immediately lose here, but at the same time, like, how are we ever winning?
Yeah.
Now, and Matt also has to time this correctly. He has to wait for Paul to target the Felidar with the Saheeli. Mm-hmm. Because if he doesn't do that, Paul has the Saheeli on 3 and can blink a Wall of Omens.
Gross. He's just going to plus again, though.
Yeah, so unfortunately, a little bit of a missed sequence there.
I mean, if you weren't playing Standard for the past couple months, though, that's, like, not something you necessarily know.
It's something... Well, it's like with Deceiver and Exarch and, the old school twin. You always wait for them to target something, else they target something else, and it's just like, oh, maybe blink my Snapcaster instead or something. Or, like, untap a land that they shouldn't have untapped, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
all right, so we're gonna yeah, so gonna continue slogging. Matt can attack.
just hit with the ravine at the Saheeli. Yeah, they block. Yeah, he blocks, but like you don't have choices right now.
I mean, you're not doing anything else, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, you're gonna lose the Felidar, but we're so far behind. Like, if Matt wrote down Paul's hand, Paul has played very few cards out of what he initially saw.
Right. Yeah, he
There's
still
still
has an Eternal Witness.
Still has the Eternal Witness.
But like,
Yeah.
whatever, dude.
Paul's just like,
Dude,
"Don't
he's
care."
probably just gonna like E with the Guardian, right? Like,
You with the Guardian,
oh, there's no fifth land. I was so close.
yeah.
If there were though, the
There
game
is a
would-
fifth land.
It's a copper
It's
land.
a copper land. Yeah, but like, yeah, this is so bad. Everything's bad. Yeah, unfortunately, this is what happens when like Jund kind of gets a slow start.
Yeah.
and your opponent just has infinite time to assemble.
You have to be the pressure, and this was not the pressure. This was the reverse pressure.
Yes.
E-witting. Oh, we're gonna E with the fifth land. We're gonna
Yeah,
play
'cause
Wall
this allows you to play Wall of Omens.
Oh, and then you can like Saheeli. I don't know, man.
Although if you're gonna Saheeli something, you might as well Saheeli the Ewit, right?
Blurg.
Because not only if you Saheeli the Ewit, you get a hit for 2, and you get the Felidar back.
Yeah. TSQ11, Jund doesn't beat the Keranos. This is known.
Yeah, Jund
this is
never
a
beats the
known
Keranos.
proposition. Oh, please don't. Oh, God.
It's just like,
Dude, we're just watching this man just, like, accrue value. This is like art, sort of.
yes.
It's, like, very painful art. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, Paul's playing a very synergistic deck, and has managed to assemble all of it, right? Saheeli
Yes.
does nothing on its own, but like,
But, like,
When
when
it
it
does.
copies Eternal Witness, you lose. So how many... Yeah, let's think about this. So, 1 wall, 2 wall, copy Ewit, first Ewit. Like,
second wall. Yeah.
I said 1 wall, 2 wall, copy wall.
Oh, sure.
Copy Ewit, first Ewit. 5
Yeah.
cards up, at least?
Yep.
Gross.
And now like. Paul, I mean, he also
Oh, he
has
just has an Evo. It's fine.
also has an Eldritch Evolution. Like, he literally has everything. Paul's just gonna play out the Karen now.
Ugh.
It's like, oh, Matt has to be very sad here.
Yeah. So Saheeli is gonna plus. God, this is like beyond, like, I don't know. I don't have the stomach for trying to for playing a game out where I'm this far behind, but like, who knows? What if fold into Aether?
The thing is, like, there's
unraveled
so
either.
many things. Like, you can't beat anything at this point. If Paul only has lands in hand and only draws lands for the rest of the game, I still don't know if you win.
Sure.
Because every 3 turns, Paul can just flicker the Ewit and get some nonsense back. Never mind that he has, like, a good hand.
Terminate your wall? I guess.
Yeah, you gotta terminate something.
Why not kill the Ewit then? He has a second Saheeli. He's okay with the first one dying. The Ewit is the problem
because
card.
this gives Matt outs to drawing Bolt. If he draws
Sure.
Bolt,
Oh,
he
okay,
can
that's
kill
fair.
the Saheeli.
That's fair.
He did not draw the Bolt, though. And instead is just going to send that Saheeli. Paul might be okay with this happening.
What, with the Saheeli dying?
Yeah. Actually, no, there's no reason. Well, I mean, he does have another one in hand.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's fine.
if Paul blocked, he can just Felidar and try to win next turn again.
Sure. Keranos Trigger's gonna draw land.
Yep, this is going to draw another card.
Yeah. Yeah, Keranos Trigger flips a land, so you get to draw a second card.
Yep. Draws
Another
more
land.
lands.
Where's that Tireless Tracker?
Yeah.
Let's Ewit our other Saheeli back.
I mean,
Wait. Play Saheeli. Evo no. Place the Healy and Evo the Ewit.
No, you play Felidar, blink a land, and then
place the Healy. Dude, this is why I should have played Standard. Get all these relevant Felidar interactions.
Oh well, also.
Oh wait, he just has 7 lands.
Yeah, that's also fine.
Lit. This combo technically has like.
Yeah. So this is a little better because you just blink the Ewit.
You get back to see Jesus Christ. God, send assistance to our region, please. Matt's just like, oh,
And
I
Matt's
have
gonna
been
reveal another
bamboozled. Oh, Olivia on top, Goyf on top. Where were these business cards during the game?
Yeah.
Matt getting kind of flooded on in the matches on camera, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mold the 6 had to keep like what seemed like probably a mediocre 6 and just flood it out a little bit.
That's gonna do it for that match. We're gonna throw it back up to us just briefly. So that is our last round. Definitely the last match. It's like 20 minutes later than we normally end. So we are going to wrap it up for tonight. So thank you everyone for sticking with us tonight. Next week we will have more Modern for you on Wednesday. And yeah, it will be a good week.
Yeah, it should be fun. We'll have the final stream with this duo.
Woo, yeah.
And the final stream before GP Vegas as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Very exciting events coming up.
But yeah, again, we thank everyone for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week.
Have a good night, everybody.